Hey guys, it's me, Matt, speaking to you, and the reason I'm doing so is to let you know that for all you Los Angeles people, we are coming to you on Wednesday, December 5th at the Regent for I Don't Think So Honey Live. It's going to be very fun, so all you Los Angeles people, December 5th. Okay, bye.
Forever. Dog.
Look, man. Where? Oh, I see. My, oh, my. Bowen, look over there. Wow, is that culture? Yes.
My goodness.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Las Culturistas. Ding dong, Las Culturistas calling.
Matt, what are you reading these days?
Oh, fuck you.
Stop.
I know I'm not reading a book.
Curious.
Okay. The last book I read was the War of Art.
Oh, the War of Art, and you
which is
loved
the one
that.
you gave me. Loved it.
Yes.
Opened up the doors.
It's great, right? I'm surprised you didn't read it beforehand. I had sworn you had read it, and then I was like, and then when I was like, have you read the War of Art? And you were like, no. I was like, oh, but then you must.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is this a roundabout way so you can talk about what you're reading?
No.
You just want to text if I'm
I
reading?
wanted a conversation, sure. And I do want to encourage reading in you more. You have this very anti-intellectualism about you that you're like, I don't read books, and like, I think it's an issue, and it's not what we need in this time.
I read online articles.
Yeah, it's not
about important things like
same.
politics.
Okay, I think you need to. I mean, like books are windows into other worlds, right? You're
Wait,
into
am
other.
I reading a book right now?
I think you should
I mean, that means
read.
no.
I think you should read like Role Models by John Waters, or I'm finishing Joy Luck Club. You should finish Joy Luck Club.
I would
with
like
me.
to read Joy Luck Club.
Does
wonderful. Crazy Rich Asians count as a book?
And did you read it?
No.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a book.
But I know the story, and it's like, is it like kind of like?
Oh, but it's I feel like the movie. I haven't read it myself, which is I'll admit. But I hear that the movie it takes many liberties.
I did read Big Little Lies, the novel, after I watched that.
You
series.
did, and you read Gone Girl before you watched the movie. I was very proud.
Mm-hmm.
These Gillian Flynn adjacent things you've done.
Yeah,
I think that's
I don't
great.
know. I really like to read autobiographies of comedy women.
Yeah, and that's great.
Which is one of the, I guess, top 5 most basic
that.
things about me, competing with some heavy themes.
Ellie Kemper just came out with something.
I saw that.
Yes. Busy Phillips.
I saw
New
that.
comedy queen Busy Phillips.
New
has a
comedy
book.
queen Busy Phillips. Who knew?
Love
But we
that.
all knew.
We all knew. Oh my God. We'll talk about this with the boys.
With the boys. Now, who are the boys?
The boys are, true prolific queens.
Prolific queens.
Shared credits among them. They're like a wonderful. First of all, they're a couple. Let's just get that off the top.
Let's just get that off the top so we don't have to talk about it.
But they also, they're doing such good stuff. Between the two of them, you have Call Your Father, which I fucking love. Men Don't Whisper, starring Sherry O'Terry.
You gotta love Sherry.
You gotta
it's
love
Rule
Sherry.
of Culture number 17. You
gotta love
Sherry.
And Search Party. And we'll let them take it away and talk about what stuff they're working on now, or things
What
that
kind
I
of
failed to mention.
hijinks the crew is gonna get up to on this next season of Search Party?
Well, I don't think it's many. I think it's a lot of like
low jinks.
Well, no, it's it's like it's trial jinx. It's a lot of like, they're in court because
you can get up to hijinks in court. Have you seen the OJ trial?
Sure. It's not as it's not like them running around. It's them like having to sit down and be like,
just saying your definition of hijinks is really
you
incorrect.
guys have killed people. It's not fun. They'll make it fun, but it's not the same thing of them like going to
speaking
Montreal.
of reading,
What?
I did read some pages of the script.
Oh my God! Because you shot a thing of Search Party, didn't you?
Well, I won't confirm or deny.
Oh,
that's also because like,
what
if it gets cut?
Oh, but you've already confirmed it on Jeffree Self's episode of this.
Shit, I did.
Well, anyway,
I'm in it.
We're so excited to have them. Unless you're cut, we're so excited to
You
have
better
them.
not cut me, bitch.
It's not up to him.
I haven't cut you yet.
Oh. We're so excited to have them. Give a warm ear welcome to
Charles Rogers and Jordan Firstman.
We can speak.
Now you can speak.
We're free.
I wanted to chime in so many
What did you want to
times.
say?
Chime in with what your feelings.
I liked Art of War.
Art of War.
War of
Yeah,
Arts.
yeah,
Art
yeah.
of War, different.
Chinese.
Yeah.
Chinese. I did read that in college.
I had no idea
Yeah.
Ellie Kemper has a book.
She got a
Yeah,
book.
she got a book.
No.
I wanted to talk about Ellie Kemper.
Okay.
Because we had like a year where we would just tag her in everything.
Oh yeah,
on
no, I remember before that's how we courted each other.
Yeah.
Was just tagging Ellie
Ellie
Kemper.
Kemper.
And
Is this
everything.
real?
Yeah,
That's
but,
what got
I
you
forgot
guys.
about that.
but it was like a different Ellie Kemper.
Right, it was like a Swedish woman
It was
or
like a
something.
Swedish woman.
Oh my god, wait, that's so cute.
It was like
Yeah.
Ellie Kemper 7.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Okay, wait. I do want to get into the courtship later.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
okay, and then what else did you want to chime in on?
I forget. I was just gonna be like, I never read like Matt, but I am reading right now. I'm like trying to read more.
Good.
So I wanted to chime in about that.
Can you speak for the people that don't read? Because I feel like we got a bad rap.
It is just so boring.
Yeah.
But then when it's not, it's so fun.
I agree.
Yeah. It's like when you're in it, you're like, this is amazing. And then 3 weeks go by, 4 weeks, you're like, I'm never finishing that.
But
book.
do you feel like a reader? I don't read, and I feel like I'm a reader.
Here's the thing.
And I
is
look
it's
down
like-
on people who don't
So
read.
Charles and I are the same. 'Cause I don't really
I'm
read
like, I'm a
either.
reader.
But I
I've
identify as a
never read,
reader.
but I'm a reader.
I read so much more than you.
You do. I bet, you know,
This is
I'm
so
very busy,
flipped.
baby.
Well, when you're writing, you can't be reading.
I agree.
It's rule of culture
I agree.
number 11.
It
When you're
taints-
writing, you can't be reading.
Wait, so what were you trying to say?
It taints your work.
It taints your work.
It
taints.
It really
He
does.
doesn't. He actually. What pisses me off about his not that exact sentiment. He can't watch TV.
Oh, because
I don't want to sit down at the end of the day and like watch
more
like,
TV.
especially when you live in LA and every party you go to is it's like, so it's a dragon and a mermaid. Like it's just
Yeah.
after a while you're like, I
Yeah.
don't live in the real world.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, like they always said, like when we were learning like the screenwriting in college, they were like, and be watching everything. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't like all
Until
this.
you're not yourself at all.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
oh my
And
god.
But to not be able to experience
No, I know,
Atlanta
I know.
with your lover, to have to watch Atlanta and be so moved by it, and then have to like explain these weird moments that don't actually make sense, and he's like, yeah, it's magical realism.
sounds
Everyone's
like
done that.
I don't
And I'm
watch
like, no, it's
Atlanta for
different
like
though.
a political point or something. It's
No,
like-
he just doesn't watch TV.
I just
oh
don't
my
watch
god,
TV.
but like he'll never understand Teddy Perkins and,
Yeah.
and shit.
I know enough to know I respect that.
Okay. The thing is, okay, but this is a very interesting approach because I am curious about you. Is Sarah Violet the same way where she won't watch other TV?
No, she watches.
90s
She's one of those
movies.
people who fall. Yeah, she watches tons of 90
Great.
movies, and she will fall asleep to something every night.
See, okay, yeah, I don't identify with that either.
Yeah, it's not me. I'll
Yeah,
listen to
she'll like fall
podcasts.
asleep to like
Yeah.
The Office or 30 Rock, like comforting things
Right.
like from when we were coming up.
That's when I used to
Coming
watch from when we were coming up.
The network shows from when we were
network
coming
shows
up
we came up with.
in the
Oh
early
my
2000s.
That was really the maybe that's a lie. Like in college, I did watch TV, and I'll get into a show, but I'm not like an active TV watcher
Yeah,
all the
same.
time. Like I can't list off 5 or 6 shows that I am watching.
Right,
I agree.
Frequently, what happens to me is I'll get very obsessed with something for 1 or 2 seasons that I binge, and then the third season will come out, and for some reason, I'll have no fucking interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I loved the first season of Westworld. I actually loved it, and then the second season came back, and I was like, oh, I don't care about this at all.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Well,
it's a
right now it's
crazy
impossible because then
expectation.
it's like within 3 weeks, 80 shows have come out.
Right.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so by a year from then, you're like, I don't remember it. I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Everything has come out since
I know this
then.
is
Yeah.
bad. This is bad to say on this podcast, but I felt that way about Drag Race this season. I was like, I've been
Uh-huh.
watching this show for like almost 10 years
yeah.
now. Like
Uh-huh.
it's getting pathological if you like have something in your
Yep.
life that long.
Yeah.
Sure.
100%.
Even though I still love the show. But
Yeah.
Same, and you can't ever not watch it because now it's
Yeah.
like, what do we talk about?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
But I did. Okay, so I'm so glad you're saying this, Charles. Thank you. Because I, for a long time, thought that, like, in order to just sort of be, like, you can't create in this vacuum or whatever. I mean, not that
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what's happening. But
Well,
it's
I
like,
wish I watched more stuff, and I miss the days when I was like so fresh and like wanted to consume and like be molded. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have that inspiration anymore. But I think it's just
Really?
like feeling tired. I think it's just
Sure,
being
okay.
tired. That's all.
And also wanting to do other things. Like I'd rather listen to music.
Interesting.
Personally, you said you like podcasts.
Yeah, I can't. I want constant chatter.
Love
I
that.
never
Yeah.
want silence.
Yeah.
He has a hard time listening to music too, though.
I do. Yeah.
I feel like he like works and then he just like stares.
And then I'm paralyzed. It's true. It's
God.
true. At night, I'll just look through Instagram and jerk off and stare at the
Yeah,
ceiling.
yeah,
And
yeah.
That's
And
all.
I'm,
That's all
I'm
my
next
night
to him
is.
the entire time.
Yeah,
he does
yeah,
all
yeah.
of it. He just
And
stares at the wall,
he
jerks
says
off.
a word to me. There is hell to pay.
Oh my god.
Jerking off's a huge part of my life as well. I identify with that.
I think that, and that's as noble as reading. I think.
Of course. It's noble.
I challenge you to really give us our generation's first, or just the world's first, Instagram masturbation scene. I feel like we haven't. That hasn't
That's
been
true.
portrayed,
Right.
And that's a very
You mean just jerking
Okay.
up to other people's Instagrams?
But specifically with a phone in your hand and like
Yeah.
this. Like,
Right.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen
Yeah,
that.
We haven't
you're
seen
right.
that on screen.
You're right.
We haven't, and I
I've,
need to.
I've Twitter jerked off before, but because there's actual
Like to tweets?
Oh, there's
on
porn
there.
on Twitter, yeah.
But
to
never.
to like Nikki Glazer's tweets.
Yeah.
We follow each other, so I can't say anything bad about Nikki. Love you, girl.
We recently met her and she recognized Bowen and not me. It was a great moment.
Oh my God. And she did recognize you by the end.
She was like, "No, I think I do know you," and I was like, "Maybe."
And it was a week. You spent a week with her.
And it was
only-
it was only the three of us upstate in a cabin.
Wait, and then speaking of which, you two
No
just
TV.
came back from upstate.
Yes,
where
we
were
were.
you? Tell us everything.
We were Wasaic.
Wasaic?
Yeah,
Ooh.
Right
no,
outside our
it was
media.
so. I think we were there for the best leaf weekend of the year.
It was
Okay, because
beautiful.
Was that the week after us?
That was the week after us.
because you guys started to see them turn, but they weren't like
It was
vibrant,
in full
right?
turn.
I will say that it was a really good week last week.
Okay.
I actually
Okay.
think we got the tail end of
We got the
good
tail end,
week.
but
Okay, good.
yesterday was like I've never
It was
seen
beautiful.
vibrancy.
Gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was up in
Gorgeous.
I slept over at Dave and Ariel's last night, and I woke up in Harlem. The sky was orange, bitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
the sky.
What time did you wake up?
Every leaf in the sky. I woke up at a cool noon,
Okay.
and I was walking down
Yeah.
Ariel and I went for lunch, and I was just like, "Can you look at the sky?" And I think post acid trip, I'm really noticing the
Oh
trees.
wait,
Oh,
let's hear
colors.
about. Did you already
When
talk
did you
about
do
that
it?
on the pod?
We
but
did
we're happy
lightly,
to
but
talk.
we are happy to talk
We
about
love
it more.
acid.
Oh,
We're
we're
like,
all
did
on
you
it
do
right
it?
now.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
Right now, amazing.
We truly like we make
We
it a
try
point to do it every
at once a day.
And weird, no one's touched us.
Well, we
Yeah.
see
Yeah,
see
great.
beauty and we see ugly.
Did you guys do it upstate?
No.
It's the perfect place
Yeah,
to
we
do
did.
I
it.
know it would have been.
We
We
were
were
with,
with
like, bros.
straight.
Oh.
white
It was
What?
really interesting. So
Explain this.
my good friend Sarah married the owner of Italy.
Oh my
Mario?
god.
Not
Slay.
the one who is not Mario.
Okay.
The one
There are
whose
a few
name
of
you
them.
don't
There
know.
are like three
there's
partners.
There's like three partners. He's
Great.
one of them.
Great.
And he's a good guy. They're very in love. And we went to their like Italy blowout wedding in Italy
love that.
like over the summer. So it was like some gay guys and then like some very like broy like business guys. And it was a
And
weird.
their-
It was
and
an
their
interesting.
wives.
And you managed to
And their
connect with
wives.
them?
Yes and no. It would like
Yeah,
kind of. We
yeah.
wore like wigs and costumes a lot, and like at first they were like no,
Yeah.
and then by the end like they thought we were funny, but then
But there was a moment where like one of the strikers was staring at us. He's like, I don't even understand what you're joking.
he was
about.
like, "What's the joke?"
He's
And
like,
I think
"What's
it
the
was
joke?"
a really good. We had a good. They were watching football, and we just started making this stupid joke. We were like, "The leaves are turning, and it's football season." And we're
Yeah, like-
throw the jack o' lanterns in the trash. It's it was
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
we were just
yeah,
being
no,
silly.
facts,
Yeah, we were just doing like an impression of like a football announcer.
like,
and he's like,
cared
what,
about
what is the joke
Halloween.
of that?
Like- and it was like the joke is that this football announcer cares it's autumn
Yes.
season. I
Yeah,
don't know. It
yeah.
doesn't matter. Like
It's a funny voice, we think.
I think it is so funny to make people explain what's funny about their joke.
know.
It's
Or
so mean.
Just imagine not having an ear for like
yeah.
I know
humor.
No, it's interesting, but his friends have that ear that he has, so he doesn't
yeah,
know. He
yeah.
doesn't know that he's wrong.
And I will. This reminds me. There was someone on Search Party who I won't name that like her like one thing. Her one joke was like her one line, and she was like, "Why is blah 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 blah?" Basically, she didn't get the line. And I was like, "If you have to ask why that's funny,
Yeah.
like you won't understand a single line of this show."
Oh my god.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I'll tell you.
Patty.
It was
Patty
Patty
Harrison.
Harrison.
It was Patty Harrison, who is
She did
first and
not
foremost
get it.
dumb, not funny,
Not
not
funny.
hot. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Patty and Joel. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah.
It's lost on me.
Yeah, what is going on with like how do they keep rising?
It's so
Patty and Joel.
unfathomable.
They're both
Yeah.
victims. I'd say.
Yeah.
First and foremost, that's their brand.
I mean,
yeah.
Joel will be the first to tell you that he's not doing well, and that is a valid.
Yeah.
It's true.
No,
It's
no.
true. It's
I
true.
mean, he doesn't book.
Doesn't bug.
Never
like,
seen him on screen.
He's past his prime now at 30.
I did
and-
something weird yesterday, which is I watched Joel stand up online just as a fan.
Oh, that's,
That's
sweet.
sweet.
That's
Nice.
sweet.
I love him. I know this is
very
this is the
good.
real me, a Joel fan.
A Joel fan.
I love him too. He's a good person.
He's a very good person.
He's our friend.
Okay.
He's my friend.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
so fine.
We're colleagues more than
That's true,
friends.
professional colleagues.
Yeah, we work
it's so
together for
crazy
4
because
months.
everyone in this room is professional colleagues except for Bo.
except for me.
Oh.
No.
Well, you and I
Interesting.
are.
Yeah.
Wait, what are
Do
we
you guys
talking
make
about?
money doing this?
We make a
Yeah,
little.
we make a little
Okay.
bit of money.
Then you're colleagues.
We've been on the same checks.
What's
Okay.
the exact
Yeah.
amount?
So
Yeah.
like for example, we just did Everlane sponsorships, and then and I'm not even joking anymore. This is just true.
This is amazing.
They were like, okay, now pick 10 things you want from the website, and we'll
Oh my God.
and we'll send it to you for
Is that
free.
That's
good?
amazing.
That's good, right?
That's it's
hello,
like,
it's a
and you
new
picked,
wardrobe.
it's like
the most
thousands of
expensive-
dollars of
Oh, okay.
clothes.
I texted him
so
and I
that's
was like,
better than money for you.
That is.
Oh my God,
That
yes.
kind
Yeah.
of is.
Kind of is.
I think it is because it's like, here's just, you're going to use it to shop anyway or do whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
here,
yeah,
just
yeah.
have it.
It's
And
not money
have
you
it.
could spend wrong. It's
exactly.
like-
And also,
yeah.
it wasn't budgeted. It was just like pick 10 items.
Oh, I would.
Gifts.
That is actually. I would love it if my checks were like clothing money.
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
is like vacation money.
You need an assistant.
Yeah, yeah.
You need an accountant.
It just sounds like you need an assistant. Wait, I want to know. Okay, I want to know about this courtship. So, okay,
Same.
just give us whatever sorted things.
I'm
you
gonna.
want.
It's a
I'm gonna get
long-
there before you.
How you
because-
first
epic
saw
saga.
her.
He says one thing always when people ask that embarrasses me so much. So I'm gonna
okay.
like.
So
just
we have
not
to
You're
let
gonna
it
nip
say
that
it.
in the
of it?
bud.
Yeah.
Get ahead
I'm
of
nipping
this.
it. Basically, he's gonna say that I reached out. That's
He
the
was-
word he
nothing-
used.
on LinkedIn.
Nothing wrong
He
with
used
it.
to LinkedIn.
No, no. Okay, so here's I'm gonna explain it from the beginning because Charles wasn't there for the beginning of it.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was in a coma for
Yeah,
3
7
months.
years.
So basically,
3 months, 7 years.
we'll take you back to the New Orleans Film Festival 2014.
Nolans is how they say it.
Yeah, Charles had 2 film festivals that weekend for his
Okay.
feature for Till Then.
Yes.
I think they were like flying him and putting up at a nicer hotel in Chicago.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm gonna choose Chicago. I went to New Orleans and I was like,
Expecting to see him.
No, we didn't
no,
know.
we- I didn't know what he was.
And I
I
had
had
like
like
glimmer in his eye yet.
I had vaguely heard
You had
of
seen
For
me
Till
at a
Then.
Q&A though, but didn't like
Right.
put anything
No,
together.
he was at a Q&A for a movie. He had like 3 lines in, and he like kind of like took over the Q&A because it was like
I had,
failing.
like, 11 lines. And-
Yeah. And I was like, who?
was an
Why?
overtime.
I was like,
And it
why is
wasn't
this
kind of
guy?
failing, it was failing.
Yeah, yeah. It was like,
Well, there are a lot of awkward people on stage.
yeah.
And
You
I
definitely like made the Q&A feel more live, but I was also like, what gives him the right? Like,
I
who
know,
is
I
this
know.
person that like?
I had just moved to LA. I was very unstable. I needed
Yeah.
attention.
Oh my god.
So I'd seen him then, and so I got to the festival, and it was my first like not gay film festival, like my first short to like all these gay film festivals,
Yes.
and I was like, when will the straights accept me?
Uh-huh.
Still asking.
Yeah.
Still asking.
And so New Orleans was the first film festival that accepted me.
Great.
And I was like, what program am I in? And then I was like, you're playing before a feature, and I was kind of pissed because I wanted to be in like a shorts program.
Right.
And then I was playing before his feature.
Mm-hmm. Fort Tilden.
Fort
Tilden.
which the first time you and I met was you did monologues at Magnet for the all queer
Oh yeah.
improv.
Oh my
night that I
god.
did.
That's crazy. That's
Isn't
how
that
we
crazy?
first met. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
It
I
was-
remember when you used to do that.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry, keep going.
So
Well,
I-
both of our movies were like two-handers about like terrible people.
Yeah.
That's why they put them
yes,
together.
Yes, fine.
and
Same kind
I
of tone.
like watched that movie, and it fucking like
Yeah.
lifted a
Yeah,
veil.
yeah,
like
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is it. Like
Yeah.
I was like, I need to know this person.
Oh.
I need to like I will like be involved in some way with this person.
That's-
Like
We
we
you're
just
talking
had
about
Nice.
Sarah Violet.
Sarah Violet, and so I reached out to Sarah Violet.
Married her for 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, but I was so in love with the movie. I was like, this is like the sensibility I'm going for and the sensibility I want to be.
Wow.
And-
What's
movie.
weird about and then you messaged me on
Yeah.
Facebook and we had like a good rapport, but I was
Yeah.
like, I can't tell if this is like somebody I've got a crush on or just a friend or
Yes,
what, because I was
yes.
like, he's really cute from his pictures. And then we made a plan to go to dinner, and then the night before we ended up at John and Kate's show at UCB.
Yeah.
And they sat because it was really packed. They sat us on stage facing each other.
Facing each other.
Like
Wait,
we
wait,
were
is-
like
in
it was like
LA?
a row. Yeah. They put up like a row
Oh.
of chairs on either side of the stage,
Yeah.
and we had to like, and it was like, oh, it's you. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna meet tomorrow, and like
Yeah.
we were just crying. And I remember like we glanced over at each other a bunch of times
Yeah.
throughout that.
Yeah.
Then we had dinner the next night, and it was like nice, but it felt like a general a little bit, like a little bit. And then
Ew,
we got
ew, ew.
drunk and made out at the end of the night. Then didn't speak for like 3 months.
I had
Whoa.
just like
Come off of something?
was just started something that was
Oh.
like very intense.
Okay.
And so I remember going, this is like, I don't even know if we've ever like rehashed all of this, but I went home to my roommate and I was like, Vish or Charles? And then she was like, it's Charles.
Whoa.
And I was like, it's Vish. And so I was like, it's Vish. did my thing, like
did your Vish thing.
did my Vish thing
Vish.
for a few months.
which we've all done.
yeah,
Everyone's
we've
done
all done our
Vish.
Vish
We've all
thing.
done
I
our
was
Vish
also
thing.
with Vish at the time.
yeah. Well, Vish is
But I
important.
remember Kristen was like, "It just Charles is such a no-brainer." Like,
wow.
She's not in your life anymore.
and she's not in my life. And she's not.
You excommunicated her
Yeah,
out of your
yeah,
life.
yeah.
Wait, where's Vish at now? Can we talk about Vish?
You know what? We're just getting in a place. Like, it was such a bad experience, and like
Oh.
now, like 3 years later, like I'm comfortable with my relationship, and like he's kind of still figuring stuff out.
Great.
But like we can like text and be like, "How's it going?"
Uh-huh.
Oh, you text?
Oh,
But he lives here, right?
no, he lives in.
He lives in LA?
Yeah, he just
Oh,
got a
okay.
job at UCLA.
Oh, okay.
They're buying him a house.
They
Do you know that they
Well,
literally, if you get a good job there, they like put
Everyone who
your
goes to school
down
there
payment-
gets a house.
Here's my
Every
question:
student.
with what money,
Money.
bitch? Because NYU, John Sexton got in a whole dick load of trouble.
Yeah.
The president of NYU, like it turns out, was like using the university's money to like pamper the professors with homes and
Homes.
stuff.
Oh,
and
right.
like we had, I was in a show and like he had invited us out to his Fire Island home, and we found out allegedly it was like weird. Allegedly, how that had been paid for,
Oh
and
my
he got in
God.
so much trouble. And NYU is already a fucking,
It's
you
crazy
know,
that John Sexton has a Fire Island home.
he had a Fire
Yes.
Island home.
He's not gay.
Who is
Is
that?
he?
Is that the head of
no,
Fish?
it was
Just
like
one
it
of
was
those
like
straight-
He
one of those
president of
straight
the whole
people, yeah.
school
Oh, okay.
who like had this really disarming persona of being like, if you ever see me on campus, give me a hug.
His
And,
famous
like,
thing
No,
was
no,
the
no.
John Sexton hugs, and he would hug
hate
every
that.
student.
It was
hate that.
truly
It was a
like
rite of
yeah,
passage.
and it was a
Yeah.
weird fucked up like pre-Me Too thing of like, wait, there's something wrong about that.
He was also like very like, we're going to build a global university.
Global
It will
university.
take over the entire.
I like
Exactly.
a global universe.
It was,
Oh,
I
that's-
swear, I
Global
saw it. I'm
universe.
sure it says that.
the global universe title of
In
it.
the global universe, and in the show I did, he kept it was like a welcome week show where it's like, welcome here,
Oh my
you have a
God.
roommate that's weird, huh? Like
Yeah.
deal
Oh,
with each other, but love. And also, it was like really about like what to do if you were having like dark thoughts.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that was you guys were like in the era of people jumping off the library.
Oh
It
yeah,
actually was.
Yeah.
It was,
I was
the
there
reason.
when
Yeah.
the barricades went up or
Yes,
whatever.
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
When they
I did
raised the
NYU
barricades.
Welcome Week, freshman to senior year of high school. I would go and pretend I was a
Shut
freshman
up.
at NYU.
Insane.
And I would like with my stage door, I knew a stage door person coming in
That
every
is so
year.
funny.
So I would just like stay in their dorm and be like, I'm a
Jordan.
freshman. And then I would when I would come
Imagine
back,
if you did that now.
I
Imagine
know,
imagine wanting
it's so
that at
much-
any other
it's
time
so
in your
sad
life.
now. But then people the
That's so
next year would be
funny.
like, I can't believe I haven't seen you in a whole year. I haven't seen you since last Welcome Week a year ago. And I'm like, yeah, I've just been busy.
But you were like 15.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Like
so
just like
funny.
fucking anyone who would
That
fuck
kid's
me.
a genius
Like,
too.
At 15.
yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I love that. That's a screenplay.
Oh my god.
It's a script.
wow.
But they wanted us to make like the global university thing like part of it, and I was like, wait, hold on a second. Like,
no.
and even me at
The
like
devil's
21,
work.
I was like, where the fuck is this money going? Like, what is this a crazy front for? Like NYU.
The fact
Yeah.
that there's a
There's
campus,
problems.
the fact that there's a campus in Abu
I
Dhabi
know.
is like red
Weird.
flag, red flag, red flag. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Weird,
can't
weird,
even
weird.
fathom where $60,000 per year per person goes.
Yeah,
Like
me
I
neither.
don't even get
Food.
It's
Yeah.
food.
Yeah,
Dinner.
it's dinner.
Can tell you from eating there, it ain't the food.
I liked it.
You liked
I
it?
loved it.
Well, your palate is not sophisticated.
I need to. I feel like Jordan. Okay, let's
Wait,
we're on Jordan.
and so
what?
So we were. You guys started.
Okay.
You
Oh,
were
sorry,
dating.
do the
Yes,
last
go,
part
go, go.
fast.
This
We're
is
gonna-
easy.
We're gonna do the last part.
Let's go
fast.
through the last
Okay.
part fast,
After-
please.
Vish was
Enough fish.
Vish was fading out. I was so stressed, so anxious. I came to a brunch wet.
Yeah,
just
you were
like-
so. That's what I told.
yeah.
Months later, I was like, "You looked soaking wet." The next time I saw you,
You know,
it
like,
was a
you're
real red
dry,
flag.
when you're dry, but you're in a really bad emotional place, so you're just
You're
wet.
wet.
yeah.
There's
yeah.
you and
Yeah,
I know
do
two ladies and you who are like that. That's the only-
You've just got a lot of like active follicles. That's
Yeah,
probably what it is.
I was
You're
just
sweating,
like stressed all the time.
and so you were wet from sweating. Okay,
sweating,
great.
sweating.
Well,
Oh
okay.
my
So
God.
anyway, like we hung out like every day. After that, we started hanging out like every day. We became like best friends.
Lovely.
And then when Search Party was like greenlit, I wanted him to write on the show, but then we had to put like our feelings away because Jordan was like, I don't want to have any like weird.
But these feelings came up literally the Saturday before the first Monday of the room.
I think there was a lot
we
of
were
like
literal. There
yeah,
was
it's-
flirting, but we hooked.
or at least like mutual
Right.
like adoration.
Had you hooked up?
You know, like
Yeah, like the
that's
Saturday
prior.
before.
before the room started, and then it was like, well, this is very confusing. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Wow.
No, the Saturday before was the Halloween.
And that's a whole. I can't tell that story.
Oh.
It's far too humiliating.
No,
It
now
invol-
we need to know.
It just involves me on Molly begging to be a part of a three-way and taking an Uber.
He
to
followed me
follow
home. He
Jordan
said,
home with
"Follow
this
that
guy.
car." He took an Uber, said, "Follow that car."
and a Charles
Beautiful.
as Charles Manson and
You
showed
said
up
Oh my
Charles Manson.
and got to
God.
Jordan's door. We had been making out with some guy, the three of us, like all night, and then they went home together. And I was like, "That's not how this night was gonna go." And then I literally
That
then on
was-
the way home, I asked the Uber driver. I was alone with her. I was like, "Have you ever been in love?"
What did she say?
I don't remember. Like, I have.
And this was
Yeah.
that night was also crazy because Vish was at that party
Oh, yeah.
and took Charles aside and said, "I give him to you."
Yeah. He cut his karmic ties with you and was like, "You can have Jordan."
And blessed like the courtship.
Yeah, but I was like, "Fuck that!" Like, I'm not like.
I'll
you
make my
can't
own
get-
choices.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
But you've never been in control of your destiny.
That is true. That is
Either
true.
Vish or I have.
Wow.
So then
or
the room
NYU
started.
Welcome Week.
The room started.
The room started, and
And-
we took like 2 weeks. Like the first week, he was just like mad at me all the time.
I couldn't handle it. I could not handle that three-way rejection and Molly. I should not have done Molly like 2 days before the room.
Your
of the
first-
first
your
season
first
happened.
show,
It was
yeah.
all a mistake.
and it was my first TV writing job.
Wow.
So
I was like
Wow.
spiritually depleted, and I would like couldn't look at Jordan for like a week.
and I was like, "Oh, like I'm going to get fired. Like he hates me."
man.
Oh my God.
I was like, "I've ruined
I
my
didn't
like
ha- I
best
did not
friendship
hate
and
you.
my job."
yeah.
So then when did the upswing happen again with things?
Like 2 months into the room, and then we
no,
were like
yeah.
good and happy again, and like
Okay.
becoming best friends again. And then like 2 months into the room, we went to Palm Springs just to like figure out what we are, and it was the weirdest. Like it was such a weird thing where
just
like
the two of you?
just the two of
Yeah.
us, and we like hooked up again, and then like, but it felt like sad or empty or something. And then we watched The Intern and just made fun of The Intern all night.
Which like
That's
became
and it
like
was so
that is
it was
like
so joyful for
That's
both of
gorgeous.
us.
like
Thank you,
we
Nancy.
bonded so hard making like dissecting Nancy Meyers
Yeah,
movies
yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
the first time I was like, "Oh shit, like I probably should be with this person."
It was just so confused. It was so confusing.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never had more
Nice.
confusion about like a person in my life. And then, long story short, the room ended. And then on the night before Valentine's Day, Jordan had a party, and then we hooked up again that night. And then we both texted a week later that we had wanted to say "I love you" when we had hooked up.
Oh.
And it was like,
Do you know when like you're like in bed with someone and you're like thinking it over and over and over, but you can't say it?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So I was
Oh
like,
my
I'm so like I'm
God.
such a loser, and then I found out he was doing the exact same thing.
Oh.
and it was a big relief.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a crazy thing.
Yeah.
There
And
is-
then,
That's
like,
the story.
Yeah, and then 2
Yeah.
weeks later, we're like we're gonna be boyfriends.
But then started like long distance because I was in New York and he was in
Oh
LA for the first
man,
season.
wow.
It was
It's
a
so-
weird.
It's hard to have that exciting moment and then be like,
And
now
then
let's
goodbye.
be separate.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
weird.
There's
Yeah.
there's so much texture to that. I love that.
It was such a roller.
it's a
coaster.
saga. It's
It's
a
so
saga.
good.
and continues to be.
It's true.
I feel like I have to address this thing that is gnawing at me.
I think it's
Here
about
we
time.
go.
it's about to. Okay, I feel like
You all know except me.
no,
I have no idea what the fuck is happening.
So like hearing Jordan talk about like posing as a freshman or just posing as a student, like and all the stage door stuff. Like there is a part of me, and this is just me putting this out
Yeah.
there, and there's no good or bad way to take this, but like I feel like Jordan was living this life that I had always sort of secretly wanted, but was like pigeonholed by my parents into being like, you're gonna major in science, you're gonna do this. Like I would like growing up, Jordan would have been someone who I would have been like, oh my God, I want
You're living
exactly
the dream.
what he
You want his
has.
life.
And I feel like that's still true now. I
No.
feel like it's like, wow, these things follow us into adulthood, right? That's
Are you saying
I'm saying. I
the
don't know
relationship
what I'm saying.
aspect?
No. I'm saying like Jordan like is
You're
like
in love
living.
with me.
I'm in Jordan. Wait, I'm in
What
love with
I
Charles.
hear,
Yes,
so
I'm
I
in love
hear
with
you, but I hear what I
Charles. Yes,
But I've lost a lot of that part of myself.
okay. So this is what I'm trying to get at. Like, yes, is that person still like?
I miss being like I don't feel free anymore.
Really?
And like I do miss like the like more adventurous side. And it's not because of anything. It's just like you grow up and then you're like you want to be successful, and then you're working all the time, and then when you're working, you're like, oh, like I can't just go to like Berlin for a month and fuck 200 people, and like you can't do the things that like. But I really did do them. Like I did them like from like 15 to like 22.
You started young.
I started really young.
Great.
You got it.
And so like I don't feel like regrets, and like I don't really want it anymore. But I do sometimes like miss just being like wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you had it.
But you
I had it, but I did do it.
I feel that way with like silliness. Like I miss being like free and silly, and like people used to think of me as like the silly one, and now it's not. I don't know. I think time and
well, because
roles,
being in a position of
Charles is the boss, and so like.
And it just stresses you out, and then you stop being like fun. I don't know. It's like I miss like being like almost like everyone's little brother. Like I used to have that thing in high school, but I'm not that anymore. It's weird, but that's not exactly what you're saying.
See, it's a similar thing though. It's like things that you miss about yourself.
Yeah. But I also think if you're like into your 30s, fucking 200 people in Berlin, like it starts to be like a problem.
Yeah. It's a moment of caution.
That was my I had a terrible lead into that. I'm so sorry that I directed it at like Jordan's past or like upbringing, but this is
it's
all
a good thing you apologize.
Thank you, Bowen.
It got
really
intense.
That
for a
stayed
second.
with me.
But it's this life's like, okay, you know what? You guys know Matt Porter, right? No,
I don't.
I know
Okay.
the name.
He's great. The only reason I mentioned him is because I feel like he's like in that sort of same world.
He wrote
as like
something. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he wrote this thing about turning 30 that is basically just being
Girls.
like. Huh?
Girls.
He wrote
Girls.
girls.
Girls about turning 30.
It's about turning girls is ultimately a show.
It started with them all turning 30.
If you think about it, I'm
And
putting
then
on my
35.
huge glasses. It really is.
He wrote this thing where it's like, okay, you have all this structure up until, your late 20s, and then you just have to get used to like your thrusters turning off, and you're just sort of floating in space for a while, and you just have to be used to the stillness of being like basically of a somewhat finalized version of who you're going to be. And I feel like you and I are in this place where we're like contending with that.
You're like, is this it?
Is this it?
Well, what I was gonna say to what Charles was saying was like, you used to have this thing where people thought of you as silly and like almost didn't take you as seriously.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't take me seriously enough. I want to be taken more
yeah,
seriously.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's my kind of thing. Is it's like, how much longer am I going to be looked at as like?
I feel like you can't have both.
Yeah.
I don't think you can be like somebody that's like, I take you seriously, but I love you and I want to like, I don't know. It doesn't work. People
I
are
have
either
a
like
similar
afraid
thing,
for you
though.
or want to be afraid of you or want to be your best friend.
Yeah, and
you can't have both.
It's weird because I feel like there's like, tell me if you guys identify with this. It's like what people think they're going to get from you and what people actually get from you. It's like are sometimes two different things.
Yeah.
And they can't reconcile when they get something they're not expecting.
Right.
So it's like the second you try to change it up, they're like, no, that's not you.
Right.
I know you.
Or they need
don't
to
have-
see
yeah,
how
yeah.
you relate to another person to be like, oh, I can relate to them the way that they relate to that person. Oh, now I'll act like that.
Yes.
If that
It's
makes
always
sense.
constant negotiation.
I have the same thing though, like especially in the search party room, more the first 2 seasons. But like I'd say a pitch seriously, and people would like laugh at it, and then like 2 minutes would go by, and they were like, "Oh wait, that's real and good," and like it would like come back to it, but they just assumed I was joking.
Yeah.
because like I just like have a face that it seems like I'm joking about everything.
Right.
It's your face.
But I think it's my face a little bit, but I'm
Right.
like, no, bitch, like I'm dead serious.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
all
yeah.
Of this.
And is there a part of you that thinks like because you are in the room and everyone knows that you guys are together that they think of like maybe is there a part of you that projects that?
No, it's these are facts.
Yeah.
These
Well,
are-
it was more so the first season too, when
Yeah.
we weren't together then either.
Yeah,
Sure.
I know, but it's something I've dealt with my entire life
Oh.
of like people not like understanding that I'm serious.
Yes.
But now I'm at a place now where like I know how serious I am.
Yeah.
And so if they don't see it, I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I know.
It can be weird though. Like I feel that way because my voice is kind of dead. Like I kind of have just like a dead energy sometimes. And so like if I'm joking, it's like sometimes the same voice as when I'm serious.
Yes.
And then I'll like say something that's a joke and people will be like, oh yeah, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, you don't know me at all. Like
Yeah.
if you think I'm capable of
That's
that thought and believing
terrifying.
it, it's like
Yes.
so, it's like, oh my God, our friendship's a sham.
Yeah.
So scary.
See, the way I am is I'm so big that it's
Yeah.
like when
Yeah.
I'm joking, you fucking know
You
when
know.
it's borderline too much, and then when I'm serious, it's like, okay, yeah, we're here. But
Yeah. That's
It's always extremes.
Yeah.
You guys both have like a big thing.
The big
and
thing.
that I do envy that. It's like
Wait, what do you mean? Oh,
like-
you do have the big thing. What are you talking about?
yeah, but you guys like can like be just like fun at the drop of a hat.
Right,
I
yeah,
think.
totally.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like watching you guys do I Don't Think So Any live. And it's like, oh, like they just know how to like even if
It's mental illness, really.
It is.
I'm mentally ill. I'm very mentally ill.
you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
are you
yeah.
ever just like in a really bad mood and then you're like you turn it on, you're like, oh my god, I just did that.
Yeah.
I find that I can always turn it on, and also oftentimes I'm just on all the time, and people it's too much for people. Like kind of like I always remember like when Bowen, me, Sudi, and Dave all went to Disney World, like and
yeah.
Orlando, I could feel that they were like,
You're
"Wow, this is really you.
This is a problem.
Yeah.
You're fucking here." And I was like, "Come on, we have to go because we have to do this other ride." And they're like, "We're in our late 20s and don't feel like we have to rush." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, same. We can sit down."
I'm not manic.
And I'm like, I see
Yeah.
myself sometimes. And actually, one of the things that I realized, one of my
Yeah.
lessons, quote unquote, from the acid trip, is I am like a man child.
Yeah, for sure.
And like that's been hard about becoming almost 30 years old. And like at this point now where it's like, and this is maybe weird to say, but like, I think people know who I am in the comedy community, but I don't have like a staffed job under my name. Like everything I've done is something I've created or
Yeah.
Right.
you know, something that I've got done myself. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like, like this thing of like people not taking me seriously, I know is coming from my own brain.
Yeah.
But it's something that's like matches this thing about my personality, which is like a child.
Yeah, I
No,
always
that's
say
a
this though.
gift.
Your best qualities are your worst qualities,
I
and
agree.
and like you couldn't
Yeah.
be you without being a child.
100%
Like
agree.
it's so part of your thing,
And the people-
but then it's also gonna be like your downfall.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's going to
Well,
be.
I
Probably
like-
more in like personal relationships.
Naomi Ekperigin said that I will die by my own hand. Accidentally.
accidentally.
At least that's, your own
You'll
hand.
skip
your
off a
own
bridge.
hand.
Like it'll be like me just like what?
You're gonna die. You're gonna die masturbating to an Instagram feed. That's
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
that's how it's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
happen.
I think it's good to be a child. Like people love, like Tiffany Haddish. The
Yeah.
people who are the sparkliest are like children at heart,
Yeah.
and like I'm jealous of that because that sounds so free. If you can harness it so that everyone is just doing something for you all the time, then it's like best case scenario.
Yeah, you gotta get to Tiffany Haddish letter where you have assistants, you have
Yeah,
like
it's
people
true.
doing all the
Right,
adult
right.
things for you.
Yeah.
100%.
If you can be childish while having assistants, that's
That's
the
the
dream.
goal.
Love
That
that.
is the goal.
Would
My
love.
assistants are my
God.
children.
Oh, Bowen, you need to brush your teeth.
Yes, you do.
I wasn't saying that to you. I was just saying like you as in like the universal you.
the royal you. Yes.
You have beautiful, gorgeous teeth.
Thank you.
And I think that's because you use Quip.
It is.
You know, brushing your teeth is one of the most important parts of your day, and Quip, they know that. They've combined dentistry and design to make a better electric toothbrush.
Quip is the new electric toothbrush that packs just the right amount of vibrations into a slimmer design at a fraction of the cost of bulkier traditional electric toothbrushes.
And guiding pulses alert you when to switch sides, making brushing the right amount of effortless.
Quip also comes with a mount that suctions right to your mirror and unsticks to use as a cover for hygienic travel anywhere, whether it's going in your gym bag or carry-on.
And because the thing that cleans your mouth should also be clean, for God's sakes, Quip's subscription plan refreshes your brush on a dentist-recommended schedule, delivering new brush heads every 3 months for just $5, including free shipping worldwide, everywhere in the world.
Everywhere. By Fleetwood Mac. Quip is backed by a network of over 10,000 dental professionals, including dentists, hygienists, and dental students.
Most toothbrushes don't get named one of Time Magazine's best inventions of the year, but Quip sure did. Find out for yourself why.
So here's what you're going to do. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/dingdong right now, you'll get your first refill pack free with the Quip electric toothbrush.
That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/dingdong, DINGDONG.
Here's the full spelling, honey. getquip.com/DINGDONG.
And remember, that ships everywhere by Michelle Branch.
So talk about how is Men Don't Whisper? How did that work as like a production in terms of you two? Because did you two direct that?
Jordan directed it.
Jordan directed.
I did, but like
We made it
was-
together.
We made it together.
Great. And then like I can't imagine how just involved that would be, and to have that be in some way not emotionally fraught, but just like there's this like, oh, you're working with like your significant other. Like, I don't know. I mean, this sounds
pretty
so
easy.
That
basic.
was really easy. We're making a feature out of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
And that was I feel like we delved into more of our real problems. In
the feature's more like really about our problems. Like the short was like, here's gay masculinity problems,
Yes.
and then the feature's like, here's that, and then here's also I have this problem, you have this problem.
As
Let's run with
characters,
that.
yeah.
Like we just put him into the movie.
Great.
And that was a little harder to write because like you almost like writing a movie, you like literally have to agree what's right and wrong, like morally. And like if we're having like different ideas about how we like bring ourselves into the relationship, like we have to like come to a consensus to write this.
Right.
So
Oh,
like
wow.
that was
So interesting.
And also
harder.
just like moments from like our characters need to be equally bad, and you're like, I agree, and I'm like, okay, but my character's worse than your character. And like I don't agree. I'm like, okay, this is a problem because now we have to talk about how like and then it's like, I'm not saying this because I need to look good. It suddenly gets like
it
very,
turned into a problem where like I'm not as bad as him in the relationship, and he's like, you need to be worse.
It needs to it needs to be the same.
That's so interesting. I don't know. Not that it's the same thing at all, but like if you and I were to like, you and I have constant disagreements all the time about things that basically boil down to like morality shit, and like I don't know. That's like
I mean, they have to figure it out because the movie's being made. We
Yes.
just let it sit.
We
I'm
just
kidding.
Right.
Yeah,
Or you just keep
truly,
working on it
there's
together.
Or we just
no
keep working.
stakes.
Yeah.
No,
But
I
this,
mean,
it didn't
you're
like
talking about something
fix.
different.
It didn't fix the problem. Like it's
Right.
it's just kind of like
No, it fixed us.
yeah, we're perfect.
Yeah, oh, great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But eventually, you do get down to like the product is something that you're both like, yeah.
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 I feel like we understand because it became like it was like super micro when we started, and then like kind of the way we like ended the movie is so macro
Yeah.
that it's like, oh, we can blame all of our problems on society.
Thank you. I was perfect the whole time. It's their fault.
We just have to say I'm sorry, and then the movie's over.
I love that.
But I do want to get to the question.
Oh,
And this is the question. We'll go to Charles first.
let's go to Charles.
So this is the culture that made you say culture was for me. The pop culture that was defining. It was either, it doesn't have to be like a specific film or musical artist or whatever, but that thing that made you like your touchstone pop culturally.
I feel like for me, that's the earliest stuff. Like it's like all the stuff that was like handed to me at the beginning. And my dad for being like as much of a straight guy as he is, like for some reason like loves like Blake Edwards and like loved like the Pink Panther and like like It's a Mad World and like all those like goofy 60s comedies that like and Mel Brooks that were just like so like there's such a queer perspective in the 60s that's like so zany and like
they weren't afraid of it because they were like, well, of course it's not gay. We don't even say gay.
and somehow like it was the gayest thing that's ever been made.
Of
There's
course.
like lots of like champagne bubbles and like weird like and
Sound
so like,
effects out of nowhere.
yeah and so like that stuff is still like I love camp deep. I mean we all do, but like I just feel like broad and camp are such like dirty words today, and it's like it's such a, I mean camp less so because we're like taking it back, but like
the broad definitely.
No,
Broad is
straight
so
people,
good.
straight people are taking it.
straight people are
It's at the
taking it.
Met
That's
Gala.
true.
It's
true.
crazy.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or like American Hustle, where it's like straight people in wigs, and it's like, oh god, it feels
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
It just doesn't work when you do it.
I Tanya a little bit.
Yeah, that was straight
It was
camp.
straight-
That was
straight
straight
camp.
camp.
Yeah.
for sure.
I did like I, Tanya.
too, me
but,
too.
But it was camp.
It was
Yeah,
straight,
straight
and it was like
person
what's
camp.
straight, and it's like imagine if he had a crowbar in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Right.
crazy music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talk on
wow.
a camera.
Yeah. I don't know. I just love like I think broad is shit. I want to bring broad back.
Yeah.
Because it's you can still say lots of smart things and be broad. Like it's fun. It's
Right.
best case scenario.
Absolutely.
And people are broad as hell.
And
Oh
people
my
are
god,
broad as
people
hell.
are
Yeah.
cartoons.
Yeah.
Like nobody is
subtle.
nobody's
Wow.
subtle.
Can I ask you, because my criticism of A Star Is Born was that fucking manager, broad ass cartoon British manager, ruined the movie.
I
Do
still
we
haven't
agree?
seen
He
it.
hasn't
You haven't seen it
I
yet,
haven't
but you
seen it.
agree.
Yeah.
I think every moment ruined that movie.
You didn't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, you hated it.
I hate it so much that it's not even worth going into.
Yeah, I mean, I was just considering the fact that like it was like
certainly
this
didn't
movie
help.
that felt specific, and then this broad ass character came in and ruined it. Whereas like maybe the movie, if it really wanted to be, should have just been broad from the beginning.
We don't have to get into it. I felt it was. I felt like
You felt it was.
everything was so broad that like his existence made total sense to me.
I will say, and you like shot me a dirty ass look in the theater. In the first fucking shot of the film where he's just like unscrewing a fucking thing of whiskey or whatever, I was just, or he medicates in some way, and I just I was like, oh, already?
Yeah.
Like this is like so.
I shot you a dirty
thickly-
look because I was like, I knew this would happen.
I was like,
I
this
knew
is-
you wouldn't give it a chance.
No, I was just laughing at how thickly everything was being laid out. I was like,
and I hear that.
laid
and
on,
then he's
laid on.
performing to like a Trump supporting crowd, and then they're like, we're in New York.
Yeah, or whatever it is. It's like so I don't
Unclear
know.
where they were.
I remember Jordan's. I think I remember seeing it on Jordan's story like a few days later, where he like just like shits on the movie. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm not the only person.
No, I mean,
It
I
has-
think we can all agree.
Yeah.
Such an array of
Sorry.
like I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm gonna feel.
I call it the blue and black dress. It's like the
yeah,
immoral.
sure,
it's like
sure,
you either
sure.
see it or you don't.
Wow, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I was swept away by it at first, and I do still like the movie. Like I
Yeah.
enjoyed watching it. I
Yeah.
don't think it, and I think that's. I mean, it's Lady Gaga in a movie.
It's Lady Gaga.
Like,
and
it's-
Right.
That's still what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
But you know, I do get. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Broad, okay, maybe I'm just like thinking of in terms of like the Mad TV-ness of it all.
Uh-huh.
But Broad, for some reason, is equating in my brain as like
Not deep.
no, as like
Will Ferrell or something.
offensive or like not.
Well, because it was because in like a non-woke time when
Right.
we
Yeah.
did broad
Yeah.
comedy,
Yeah.
of course it was
Sure,
offensive
sure,
because we could
sure.
still get away with that.
Yeah.
I think it's like big characters.
Yes,
where
okay.
everyone has like
Love
a
it, love
hat
it.
or
Yeah.
something, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're the
Yeah.
hat person.
Like
Yeah,
Austin
You're the-
Powers.
yeah.
Austin Powers.
Great,
Yeah.
great. So
I would
fun.
love Austin Powers.
Totally.
Comedy.
I
to
was,
come
and
back.
I swear I was not like virtue signaling in
Yeah.
any way.
No,
Right.
but you're right.
But I was like, but I'm like,
But
I'm
imagine if
thinking-
like Murder on the Orient Express had been funny,
Oh,
and it was
God.
like
Yeah.
full of like really
Yeah.
funny people
Yeah.
and smart
Totally.
writers. It would have been
and
so
like,
good.
well,
Yeah,
like
it
back in
would've.
the day, they would even make dramas really broad, and like that. Like now, I feel like they have to be so real and grounded,
Or boring.
or boring.
right.
Everything is boring now.
I know.
Yeah.
Such a
Everything
rule of
is
culture
so
number
boring.
70. Everything is
Everything is
boring.
Because
boring.
everything's so like trying like on Netflix, it's just like all those titles are like fake movie titles from inside a
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
It's everything is
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
a copy of something
And
now.
it's crazy because the Oscars is so obsessed with boring movies.
Yeah,
like
they
when
love it.
Spotlight won, I was like,
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
I get that this is well made and about something quote unquote important, but dear God.
But it's a procedural TV show. It's Law and Order.
Yeah,
it is.
Like it's like literally the beat by beat Law and Order.
I had such a
Yeah.
feeling of like, oh my God, like when you've been in an office too long, you're like, I can't have more fluorescent lights. Like when I
Right.
left that movie, I was like, I'm
Yeah.
so glad I'm outside.
We should
Yeah.
say Michael Cyril Creighton was amazing. In
He
that
was.
He was
film.
great.
He was really
He was
good. He was
And
the
he,
best
and, he,
part.
and his stuff was all outdoors with Rachel.
Yeah,
That's true.
They managed to light the outdoors really bright too.
like I
though.
said, well done movie. Everyone in it is great.
Yes.
But it was fucking.
But subject
boring.
matter wise or
Yeah.
execution wise, it was not. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just very prestige.
You know what? At least like Doubt. Like it was stagey,
That's
but at
broad.
least
that was fun.
At least they
That's
gave you
broad.
fucking violins,
Yes.
honey.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
opera.
Meryl
It was
Streep.
fun.
Yeah.
Meryl
Like,
Streep and
yes.
the fucking monologues to
Yeah.
God. Viola Davis,
Yes.
fish, was
Ben-
fucking
benches in the
snotting out her
park.
nose.
Yes,
so
yeah.
fun.
benches in the park.
Full ordinary people.
Amy
Yeah.
Edwards. Amy Adams giving
Alyssa Edwards.
Amy Edwards.
Edwards is incredible.
If
I would
Alyssa
love to
Edwards
see
was
her in that
cast as Amy Adams' part, I would have gagged.
Oh my god,
Sister James. No,
Sister
who is she?
James.
Sister James.
Yeah, like
I
that.
have doubts.
And now it's like like those kind of movies.
Yeah,
I'm just
totally.
like, what?
Yeah.
Like people can get through those.
Yeah.
It's like-
There's such a distance. Like I
Yes.
never feel close to any of
Yeah.
that.
And I think that's why I'm like fucking gun to my head when the ballot arrives in my hand. Like I might.
You're an
chuck-
Oscar voter.
Yeah, no. just for a second.
I love an Oscar voter who has a gun to their head.
Yeah, honestly.
Such a good visual.
Gun to my
Wait,
head.
make the movie.
That's
Yeah.
a short. That's like
Is it really-
a 3-minute short that goes to Sundance.
Yeah,
Like,
it takes
the-
place in
the
one
ballot.
location. It's gun to my head. Oscar voting, and there's two choices.
no lines.
No lines. It's just emotion.
Make a movie about a bunch of faggots who hold an Oscar voter hostage.
Oh,
love
that's fun.
it.
Like a
I love
9 to
it.
5 for the
Yes,
Oscars.
yes.
That's so fun.
I had an idea
then
yesterday
they can't
about
agree.
a woman who goes into a coma and wakes up at she's like 55 years old and she has an Emmy. and she has no idea how she got it.
It is a really good idea.
And she has to, like, go through the steps.
Wow.
Don't steal it, guys.
No, please.
You just
it's
gave it
on
to-
the
you gave it
record.
to
You're on the
America.
record. You've given it away, so you
I
better
know.
write it now.
This
know.
IP is like a lock for Jordan. Thank God. Wait, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say like. I will. I if I ever do become someone that votes on that shit or makes any decision,
Gun
I
to your
will
head.
vote. I will vote for the fun shit.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
never gonna vote for the boring shit.
Yeah.
And if Star is Born is nominated for Best Picture and everything else is boring,
Yep.
You're gonna
you,
vote for
you
it.
Right, yeah.
will know what I will vote for, honey.
Wow.
Yeah.
wow.
And it will not be fucking whatever the fuck Green Book is.
What's
Oh,
Green? What's
sure.
Green
What's
Book?
Who, it's the movie that everyone's talking about.
Who's it? Like
Mahershala Ali and
yes.
Viggo Mortensen.
Never
Right.
heard of it.
Oh, I don't care.
It's a weird reverse
Yeah.
driving Miss Daisy thing, right? Where it's like he's like this like Vigo's playing this like fast talking, somewhat racist dude, and
Yeah.
then Mahershala is just like rolling his eyes in the back seat. It's crazy.
I'll tell you what I saw. First Man.
No, thank you.
No thanks.
don't
And the
wanna-
thing
Yeah.
is, like, it's really well done, but I
Don't
don't care.
Yeah.
And you know what's
Yeah.
fascinating about it is the movie fucking knows the most interesting parts are the parts with Claire
yeah,
Foy.
Claire, yeah.
And then the movie comes to life when it's about her. And there's this one scene. Spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't seen it. I don't think you guys care, but one of the
He goes to the moon.
One of the astronauts. That is, yes, he does make it. But one of the astronauts passes away in Apollo 1's prep mission, and his
away.
wife is standing out in the passes away.
Passes on.
Passes on. He loses his life.
He lost his life.
His wife is like standing in the street one day, just like staring at
I love
nothing.
it. I love it already.
And Claire Foy goes out and is like, "What's going on?" And she just kind of looks at her like she doesn't know why she's in the street. And I'm like, "Here's an interesting movie about these wives that had to like
Wives.
move
Yeah.
to-
Space
Yeah,
wives.
yeah.
Space,
Space
But
wives.
like even like the space the thing of the supportive wife and the only woman in the cast is so annoying. But there was this interesting story there about like the grief that comes along with and this daily trudging along of like my husband will probably die.
Yeah.
That was an interesting thing in the movie which they couldn't explore because
They had
God
to be in
forbid,
space.
God
Yeah.
forbid they make a movie about the Armstrongs and it's not about Neil
There-
Armstrong.
Right.
You
The
said something
Armstrongs.
that
Right.
I
The
feel.
Armstrongs.
You said something I feel so strongly. Like well-made things
Yeah.
piss me off so much because it's like anything you can like learn how to do. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like math. I'm like, I'm not going to be impressed by someone who gets math.
Who just
Well,
like,
I know they're in the wrong hands.
And the-
Yeah.
But like, no, if it's well made and has the soul, but it's like, it can't just be well made.
Yeah, I
I'll tell you
agree.
something.
A lot of that tricks people.
Yeah.
You speak about doing math. Fucking, I loved Hidden Figures.
I never saw
I
that.
loved
It was
Hidden
good. It
Figures
was really
because
good.
Taraji
Yeah.
got to scream.
yes.
And give me Taraji screaming.
In
Oh,
my
what-
mind, like the Hidden Figures poster is them walking away
Right.
from the rocket ship, but then they're in like an indoor plaza. Like they're walking like onto like
Sure.
tiles, but it's just like where's this rocket ship that also connects to
very
like
composite,
a gazebo?
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the truly the most like action packed moment in that movie is Taraji getting on the phone to call Buzz Aldrin. That like as he's walking into the rocket, like
Yes.
that's like the most
Well,
high octane.
it
thing.
was about something we hadn't seen before.
Sure.
And but it still like tricked like straight white America into
Yeah.
going because it was about
Right.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you learned about people that you had never heard about, and it had
Yeah.
campy moments like her running to the bathroom because she had to use the segregated bathroom, and it's like she almost lost her job because she had to run half an hour to there and back
the-
to use the
Aren't
restroom.
you so over trying, like having to trick straight people into watching
It's
it?
so
though?
annoying.
It's
Into
like,
everything,
I know.
can
into
it just
liking
like,
you.
yeah, it's like, so I'm gonna say what I need to say, but like it's also murder.
Yeah,
so,
I
like,
know.
the
The container of it
yeah.
all is so
We
boring.
had like a very long conversation last night with this straight guy that like it was just like, well, agree to disagree, like because and we were trying to be like as like no, but like you know minorities have had a really hard time for years and like it's okay to feel victimized and like be vocal about it. He's like, yeah, but you have to like you know like want the other side to hear you in order to have progress. And I was like,
No.
that's so embarrassing. Like, aren't you embarrassed?
And it does feel like it's like now some minorities over others.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
like
oh, yeah.
I'm
Depression
hearing
Olympics.
I'm like
Yeah.
I'm it's a long story I won't get into, but like I've gotten some very like homophobic feedback in the last month from networks,
me?
from Charles and
From
Networks.
Charles.
But like the common one that like I just heard on Friday, it's like, why can't this be a show about people who happen to be gay, not a gay show? And it's like
You don't get to decide.
Can I say
Yeah,
that?
someone who happens to be gay.
Yeah. This is a big
understand.
I don't think so, honey, I have is people saying, well, being gay is just one part of me. No, being gay is like a huge defining part of me.
Remember
when
It
TR
is who we are.
Yeah.
Remember after TR Knight came out or was forced to come out of the closet,
Yes.
the thing that he said was, but being gay is not the most interesting thing about me.
And already
Well,
I think you're on
he's
an
right.
interesting
He
bitch.
is absolutely right. And there's not much more, but like his
yeah.
gayness is not at the forefront.
But whatever. I mean, what if it was? Like, who cares?
It's
Yeah.
just such a stupid thing that we've learned to say because straight people need to hear it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is wrong.
I know, and it
Yeah.
feels so progressive to them. They
Yeah.
think
Oh,
it's like the
yeah.
right thing to
Yeah.
say. Still, it's crazy.
They're like, I think I had like aunts be like, you know what, Matthew? When they first found out I was gay, they were like, we don't even care. Like, and we would love anyone that you brought over here. And it's like, yes, this is like the thing that you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like, say
Say-
nothing because I don't need this.
Or just
Yeah.
be like, great.
yeah, or just be
Yeah.
like, great.
I
And it's like,
agree
but
that
you
saying I don't care to someone who comes out.
It's none of, or
That's-
you're
but
literally
it's-
being like, I don't care.
My
no,
mother
no,
said
I
to me,
think
it's
they're
no
saying,
one's
I
business.
care, so
Yeah, I
I
care.
have to say I don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
Like,
Wow.
Or it's more like this thing of like, you know what? It's nobody's business. And we support you, but we're telling you it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
It's like, well, everyone else's sexual proclivities are my whole fucking business.
I know, it's the
Yeah.
foundation of my existence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
the way they sell everything, the way that everything is marketed to us, everything.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I said this literally to that straight guy last night. I was like, you have to understand that like every structure that your people has built is the world we live in. Like literally the
Yes,
words
yes.
we speak were created by you.
Right.
So like
right.
how could you not see that like
Well,
we're
but-
at a disadvantage? And he's like, no.
Well, what he was saying, I know, because he was saying, I said everyone is homophobic, and he was like, that's not true, and I was like, no, but everyone is like, we are all participating in America, which is a homophobic institution.
Yes.
So by proxy, everyone is homophobic,
Even gay
queer
people.
people,
even
yeah,
everyone,
yeah.
Absolutely.
every single person. And he was like, but that means like everyone hates gay people, and I was like, no,
not
it
what that
literally
means.
doesn't. It means like even growing up, if you said like that's gay, you're a homophobic person, and he like could not accept that
he-
was like he's like anything incidental isn't an act of aggression, and it's like it is like it just is like
Yeah.
everything that participates in badness is.
Wow. He's not. Yeah. He's,
and it doesn't mean you can not be a good person. Like you
Right,
can be
right.
a good person and still
Yeah,
participate
and just
in
like
bad
exercise
things.
self-awareness and want to be better. Is
Yeah.
like,
Totally. It's that thing where it's like someone can't accept whatever implicit bias they have in terms of
Absolutely.
race. And
Yes.
it's like,
Yeah,
well, then
exactly.
this disqualifies me as a good person. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't. And it's like, no, just
It's
know that.
attacking
Yes.
my personhood when you say I might have
Yeah,
privileges or a
Right.
bias,
Yes,
and that
yes.
is not.
It's like
not
what we
what it
have
is.
to start telling straight people is like, don't worry, this isn't about you, and you're actually
Oh, that's
golden.
the worst
But
thing that
every-
they can hear though.
But that's what they're asking. That's literally what they're asking for. They're like, I will join your effort as long as I'm not burdened by my
Yeah.
own experience.
As long as you tell me I'm doing a good job.
But
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
also freaking out that we're like not talking about them as much. Like they're
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's all a reaction
they're
to losing
used to being
power.
talked about all
Right,
the
right.
time.
It's like with Firstman, the controversy around it being like they didn't show the American flag being put into the moon's surface.
Oh,
And it's
really?
like,
Oh, my
like,
God.
and they're saying it kind of flopped, and they're saying like a big reason why is because Ted Cruz fucking rang the bell on it, and
That's
he
so
said
crazy.
to conservatives, "Don't spend your money on this because it's anti-American," and that's
my
all people need to
God.
hear.
Wow.
Even
It
though that
does
movie
make
is
you-
made for them.
It makes you. I had a drink with Ruby McCullough.
Ruby,
fucking
oh
icon,
my God.
icon of the
Iconic.
world.
Did you
I love-
just meet her recently?
Yes.
Isn't she like the most?
I have never.
She's a fucking tornado.
She's
I'm so
unlike
obsessed.
anything other.
Yeah,
anyone else.
I love her so. But we were talking about like how all of this shit happening and all of it, like this stuff I'm going through with like my projects
Yeah.
being too gay for people,
Uh-huh.
and it makes you want to go underground.
Yes,
like
yes,
you're
yes.
just like, okay, then like
then you don't want it.
yeah, like then like I'm never going to impress you.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So like I just like have to figure out how to like make my stuff
But
for the people who want
what
to
is
see it.
underground now though? I guess it's just for the internet then. Like
But I don't think there isn't. I think there like needs to be a
yeah, there
resurgence
will
of
be.
the underground.
There will be.
Yeah, yeah,
soon.
And I think there is, and it's so funny because before we had this podcast, we would go in and pitch to people, and they would tell us every single time, too niche, too niche, too niche.
right.
Now we're succeeding with the most niche fucking thing ever,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like, well, you never gave it a chance, and then to hear from
Yeah,
those
yeah,
same
yeah.
people that they want to like
Yeah.
be a part of it, it's like no.
Yeah.
Dude,
no.
fuck.
It's so insulting.
Yeah,
It's so insulting. And then John actually talked about it too early. He was like, when you call me niche, you might as well just call me a faggot. Like we
Yeah.
know what you are saying.
Yeah.
We
We know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do we call them out? Like, do you like what do you
I was
do?
too young to and too experienced. Now I would. Now I would
Yeah.
say, okay, here's the thing. You asked to meet with Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
you brought us in the room because you liked us. This is us, and we know what us is. You don't. And I get that that's hard to. And you guys must deal with it all the time, getting network notes. I mean, I know I speak to our close friends about the notes that they get on their projects and stuff like that. It's frustrating to hear from people who think they know you better than
Yeah.
you. And yes, they are negotiating a lot, but still, it's like, take a fucking chance. Like,
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
brave about the
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
that you like. Or
Yeah.
otherwise, just get some fucking C plus talent in here, and they'll do whatever you say.
And
Right.
don't ask to meet with me.
yeah,
Yeah.
Don't waste my
Don't
time.
meet with me if you're
Yeah.
not going to make what I want to make.
Yeah.
Wait, when you and Ruby were having this conversation, you guys were talking about all the shit that's going on, like in the industry or just in like the world in general.
Both. It's like what I'm experiencing with the thing I'm going through right now
Yeah.
is people being like, it's too risky, so it limits the audience. And they're right, because like it is so divided
Sure.
that like the people who aren't going to like it are going to hate
Right.
it and they're not going to watch it. So it's like,
Right.
if the goal is to have everyone in the universe like your stuff, like you're gonna be a shitty artist.
No.
Yeah. It's
Like-
gonna be the worst thing.
Yeah. And so like
Yes.
right now I feel like everyone is like they're not on the right side. They're not on like the alt right whatever side.
yeah,
but
yeah.
they're trying to find things so close to the middle that they can pretend to be liberal and
Yeah.
still make shitty stuff.
I feel
that
like we
everyone
already
watches.
had the liberal peak in TV. Like, and I feel like now it's going down.
I
God.
would agree because
Wow.
I like the show, but
Search Party.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
I think, but it should
Search
be
Party.
canceled.
No, but Search Party is baseline. No, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I think, is you saw it won the comedy Emmy, sweep the Emmys.
I think it's a fake.
It does
show.
well,
Yeah. It's
and the
not
thing
a real
is,
TV show. We have all agreed it exists or something.
it is
Wow.
a pitch on the
Yeah.
paper that everyone said this is something that the most people will
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
because it's going to satisfy people who want female stories,
Yeah.
who want stories about women in comedy, specific stories because it is a specific story. It's also like takes place in an era of
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
where we're nostalgic
We're
for.
happy,
It
yeah.
looks good.
Yeah.
It's a chance
It's
to
like
launch a
butterscotch.
star.
Yeah,
it feels
and,
like.
and you know what? Like, I get why it is successful. I also think it is emblematic of what you were saying, which is it's not a risk.
Yeah. No, not at all.
No.
Yeah, it just sucks that like we again came up in a generation that it's like, oh my god, like maybe we can do this
You can
in a
do
real
anything.
way,
I
and like
know.
maybe we can like get real money to make our stuff and not do it John Waters style, not spend like
Yeah,
$1,000 on a movie. And so like now if it turns back, that's like such like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like I have to rethink everything that I've worked towards.
Wow. And you think it is sort
It'll
of
work
turning
out.
back?
I am
around?
like experiencing it so hard right now.
Damn.
So like I'm
Who knows though? Like
Who
in 2
knows?
years, it's like everything
Yeah.
is gonna be like there's 5 Netflixes that you have to sign up for,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah,
each one is
yeah.
gonna have 7,000 pieces of content, and no one
Yeah.
will ever remember a single artist in history.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
I don't know what it's gonna.
I
turn
mean,
into.
I'll just the fact that John and Kate couldn't get there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Is
that
so
to me,
weird.
and with so many platforms out there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not one of them
Yeah.
would buy that show.
crazy.
Yeah.
And we
It is crazy.
We saw it.
We saw it. It was great. It was
Incredible.
so
Yeah.
them, and there is an audience for that.
Yeah.
and it's just like, seriously, these are two of the most talented people
Yeah.
coming
I
up.
know.
And-
in the world.
Yeah.
in the world.
Can I say one thing
Yeah.
about Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
Yeah, say.
Is
He's
that
never seen
the-
it. I've seen it.
I saw 20 seconds of the pilot. I can't believe that font, that I Dream
Oh,
of
I
Jeannie,
know.
like
Yeah.
cocktail font with sparkles is
Thank you for saying
psychotic.
that, 'cause
like,
yeah.
to see that on a billboard and be like, that's a great show.
I like the show, and Rachel Brosnahan is a friend, and I think she's so talented, and she's
great.
amazing on the show. But the title of the show drives me insane,
Yeah.
and I just think it's not a risk show. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
It
It's
looks like
like-
Nanny McPhee, like from the
Nanny
poster.
McPhee.
Yeah.
It looks like she must be a witch, right?
It has to
like
be.
she's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you see the title and you're like, she's marvelous, and
Ooh.
this
Yeah,
is the font.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
She's gotta be a-
gonna
she's
get
got
up to,
powers. She's got powers.
A pretty little witch.
God's up to some
Yeah.
tricks in this show.
God is up to some
God
tricks
is up
in
to
this
some tricks
show.
in this show. There's gonna be some tricks happening.
Yeah.
Matt, you know what I love to do sometimes?
What do you love to do sometimes?
Is to just lounge in my room, go on Everlane, and truly shop till it's not cute. But it is cute because it's from Everlane. It's always cute.
I mean, Everlane is the cutest. And here's the thing. Let's just imagine a scenario. Would you buy a $50 t-shirt if you knew it only cost $7 to make? I mean, I would not. With Everlane, you never overpay for quality clothes.
And they're always transparent. They give you the breakdown of the price of the production of whatever garment you're buying.
And they tell you their real cost so you know you're never overpaying.
Everlane wants you to know what you're paying for and why. They are radically transparent about every step in their process, from the materials they use to the ethical factories they work with. I'm literally right now, and this is such a coincidence, I am wearing head-to-toe Everlane. I have on the Cashmere Crew. I've had my weekender bag for 4 years at this point, and it still works like a charm. I have the Slim Fit jean on right now, and the Japanese Oxford for men is so stylish on anybody.
And you know I love a straight fit denim. Everlane's timeless essentials are just what you're looking for. No frills, just quality.
And right now you can check out our personalized collection at everlane.com/ding-dong. Plus, you'll get free shipping on your first order.
That's everlane.com/ding-dong.
everlane.com/ding-dong.
DINGDONG. Everlane. EVERLANE.
And
What
the
is this, a spelling bee or something?
What is this? And the winner of the Scripps Spelling Bee is Matthew Rogers.
Thank you. I'll be taking my winnings and using them at Everlane.
I do want to say really quickly, like, peak broad drama for me is the hours with Julianne Moore
Yes,
in
honey.
bed
That's
and like
great.
and like
I love
flooding,
the
right?
hours.
Yeah, like that is like a
The nose.
That's
and
really
the
good.
nose.
There was no reason for her to wear that nose, but she wore that nose.
She wanted it.
broad drama. Okay.
I mean, Nicole Kidman knows how to do broad drama.
She's
Yes.
also,
Yeah.
I like this period of her just cycling through costumes
Yeah, wigs,
aggressively,
wigs.
just being like, new look, new look, new look.
Can
It's
you
so crazy.
believe the Destroyer trailer? Have you seen it?
I
No,
haven't
which one's
seen
that
She
one?
is in this new movie called Destroyer. She plays like a woman who's like gonna kill everyone. And
Oh, that sounds
it's like a
good.
de-glam thing.
Yeah.
But it's so funny
Oh,
because
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
that woman puts on a wig and she is a
Different
wig
person.
actress.
Yeah.
She is. Boy Erased, she like, it's like, oh, these people don't go together. Like Lucas Hedges, this new version of Russell Crowe that we didn't know he was slowly dying in a trailer somewhere. and now
He's
like
waterlogged, honey.
and Nicole Kidman in like full Dallas.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
19
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wait. This is not an American
Drag.
family I have
Yeah.
ever seen.
It's drag.
It is,
Yeah.
everyone is in a different drag in that movie.
Drag.
I mean,
Oh,
that
right.
might be the closest thing we're gonna get this year to a broad drama. Boy Erased, is that fair to say?
Well, the thing is,
Yeah,
though,
did you see like
I
he
actually-
holds a Bible up and he's like, "Do I throw it?" Like,
I
it's
kinda-
like
I
that.
kinda
Also,
wanna
Troye
see
Sivan
it.
is in it.
Troye
yeah.
Sivan is in
That's
it.
a choice.
That's a choice.
You know what I
Maybe
mean?
even Vox Lux might be like
Oh,
broad
Vox
drama.
Lux is glam drag.
Glam drag.
Have you seen this trailer for this movie?
No.
Boy,
Natalie
oh.
Portman in
Vox
Vox Lux.
No.
No, I haven't.
It's essentially she's playing Lady Gaga.
oh great.
And I know do you know what the movie is about?
Well, she's not the main character. It's Jude Law is the main
Well,
character.
sort of. So Natalie Portman takes over the second half of the movie, or half of the movie. And if it's nonlinear, I don't know. But the movie is about a girl who survives a school shooting. And during a tribute to her classmates that have died, she does a performance. And they sign her to a record deal.
Oh my
and
God.
she
I love
becomes
it. Lady
a
Gaga.
Lady Gaga type
Wow.
pop star. And it's about the trauma of that being the reality of her success.
See, I
That's-
love
wow.
that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I feel I had such concerns for Emma Gonzalez. I'm like, you're too famous. You don't like.
I know.
Oh, for
it-
Widows?
like-
Or no,
no,
sorry,
yeah,
no, no, no.
because she's
Emma,
based-
Emma, oh no,
she's-
no,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know why. I'm sorry. Wait, cut that out.
What is
Cut
she
that
in? What is she in?
out.
She's on Amazon.
She's
show,
in.
right?
She's iconic
Oh,
size.
Doll and M. She's from
Doll-
Doll
she's
and
in
M.
just-
Adventure Time.
Doll and M. Oh my God. Wait, you know what? Keep
She's
it.
the new Doctor Who.
Oh my God.
But didn't you
great.
have that worry?
Yes,
It's
you're like,
like you're
oh,
too
yeah.
famous
You're
now.
so
you
young.
don't know how to deal with
She
this.
needs
Yeah.
like a talk show
Yeah,
or something to
yeah.
be able to.
And the other one,
yeah.
and the other one too, David.
The
because,
boy.
And you want to know why? It's because they're both attractive kids.
Right.
And the thing is, like,
Yeah.
you worry about what they're gonna do with someone like that. And you have to think mainstream
Yeah.
media. They look at you and they don't think message. They think money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you,
true.
You, Bowen.
That's me.
Yeah,
They
money.
look at you and they say money.
I say message.
They look
I
at
say
you,
message.
Bowen
Thank
Yang,
you,
and
Charles.
no, Bowen has no
I say
message.
message.
No
Text
message.
messages.
Text
I say that's the
messages.
person that loves to
Absolutely.
text.
Yes.
He's text message. He's not message.
I think Vox Lux looks really good.
But don't the fact that that's what it's about make you want to see it more? Because it's
Don't the
about
fact
something.
that-
Don't the fact
But don't the fact that that's what it's about make you want to see it more?
I love her.
Full transformation.
Yes.
That's me
No,
doing
dude,
Gaga.
like
Don't the fact that that's what it's about make you want to? This is Mackenzie.
This is Mackenzie.
My
This
character.
is a callback to Mackenzie, a character.
I saw
that-
this character that you worked with, right?
No, Mackenzie-
Mary the Ketchups? Was that not her?
Oh my God,
Who was
no,
Mary the
wait.
Ketchup?
Somebody you worked with at like a restaurant.
Oh my God, who was Mary the Ketchup? Wait, I don't remember this.
She was like, just go marry the
Go
ketchup.
marry the
Oh
ketchup.
yeah. I think I got in an altercation with someone at work, and the way she ended the conversation was to go marry the ketchup. That was the end of that.
Right, that.
Oh my
Whether I did it or
God.
not, I was bad at my side work, so I don't know. But
Are we like part of like your crew? Do you feel like
No.
on the periphery?
On the
on the periphery,
I
yes.
look at you two, and I'm just like, I'm a little bit like, oh,
aspirational.
yeah. I'm like,
No.
oh, they're doing something.
No, I feel like
totally
you guys
different
are
and
having
cool.
the
We
fun.
look at
I'm like,
you
they're
and we're
having
like, I want to
fun.
be part of that.
Yeah,
No!
like they're a good fun New York.
I think. Can
group.
I say what this is?
Go.
This is an New York and LA thing.
You think
Because
so?
I think the way I see like all you guys in Los Angeles and like you guys are like working, and I think you guys see us in New York and we're like performing.
Yeah.
and
Living.
Yes.
Sudi says this
Living.
sometimes where
Laughing.
she says like
Loving.
Sudi at like 24 got her job at SNL.
Yes.
And so she sometimes I say to her like, oh God, you have like this job, you have this like boss ass job, it's like all this cool stuff, and she says, but you guys are out there.
Yeah.
And I was like, the grass is always
Yeah.
greener.
Yeah.
But I look at you guys and I think doing a cool fucking show that everyone loves that you guys like must be to stand by because it's such a good show.
Great.
I mean,
people.
come on.
Yeah.
What's better than Search Party?
Yeah.
John should be up for an Emmy.
Yeah.
He should be up for an Emmy. He should
Especially
be
last
perennially
season.
up for
Totally.
an Emmy.
And Alia should
And
too.
Yeah.
Alia should for lead
Alia,
actress, and Meredith should be
yeah.
John,
They're
Meredith
all so
should be
good.
nominated for an
Reynolds.
Emmy.
They're all so good.
And the show should be up for writing Emmys and directing Emmys, and it should be. And I think people do think of it as a prestige thing, but it's this weird thing because I do watch these awards races, and it's like this attitude about knowing that something is better than everything else, but saying we have to count it out because of the network. It's the same story
Yeah.
with Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, both of them have like a queer perspective, and I think even though like Search Pretty isn't overtly gay, I mean it's gotten like it entered the door not gay, and it's gotten gayer and gayer,
Sure,
and
sure.
especially this season. But like I think just like queer perspective is like, oh well, that's good, and that should go over here, and we should adore it, but we shouldn't like let it in all the way.
Wow.
And it's like you kind of have to be, and this is disagreeing with what you're saying, and it's
Yeah.
different, but like you kind of have to be like boy erased or something, you know,
Yeah.
like where it's
Sure.
like here's gay and like the most obvious for in order. It is like
Yeah.
it's that like it is niche, like no matter what, like
but these things that are there are so many things that are nominated that are also niche.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it genuinely
That's
comes
true.
down to
Yeah.
like the politics of the whole
It
thing.
is,
And
it
the
is.
fact that
I
when you
want it
watch
to
the
just be,
Emmys,
like,
you don't
too-
see a representation of the best stuff. You see a representation of the best.
or it slips through the cracks because it's like
Yeah.
At Homes with Amy Sedaris, where it's like, oh,
Right.
but there's no competition,
Right.
you know, and
Exactly.
it's like that's
Exactly.
the-
Yeah, comedy is a big competition.
And that's
You
and
got
that,
Kimmy Schmidt.
yeah,
and
got
willing
Ellie.
it.
as long as it's a thing, it will be up there. And I fucking love Kimmy Schmidt.
I actually love it, too.
I think
Yeah, it's
Kimmy
good.
Schmidt is the only
Funny
show
comedy.
that's
I-
up there.
I
Yeah.
totally agree.
Because Atlanta's great.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
a comedy.
But it's
Yeah.
not a comedy.
And Marvelous
by any
Miss
means.
Maisel is good.
Yes.
And it's
Certainly
it's
not a
well
comedy.
made, but it's not.
Imagine
a
imagine
comedy.
like laughing out loud
At a
watching
f-
that show.
I laugh my fucking ass off to Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt because there's
Yeah.
jokes.
Yeah.
These other
Because there's
shows don't
jokes.
have the jokes.
Right.
When she's like, I left the tuna in the fridge too long.
Yeah.
And then it's
Come
like,
on.
yeah!
And that show set up punchline, and that show is broad.
yeah,
That is broad.
Yeah.
Tina Fey gets broad.
yeah, she does.
Yeah.
she really
Broad.
does.
Um,
She's good at that.
She
Let's-
embraces camp.
She does. Wait, can we move on? Should we
Wait,
move on to Jordan?
Wait,
What?
Jordan, we need to know the
Oh.
culture. Yeah.
Yes,
Shit,
yes.
I,
Oh, right.
I was like, I really was thinking so hard about this. And the answer
Rattle
I'm gonna,
stuff off,
The
yeah.
answer I'm going to say is so pretentious.
No, say it.
say it,
Just
bitch.
but
say it.
I felt like the first thing I fell head over heels in love with was Sondheim.
Yeah,
And that's
sure.
that's
That's
the
a great
moment I
answer.
realized that I wasn't ever going to be in real culture.
Yeah.
Because like I would like try to introduce Sondheim to like my high school
they
friends
wouldn't get
and
it.
they wouldn't get it at all.
Still-
Did you take all your friends to the
Still.
movie version of Sweeney Todd? I took us all. I said,
No,
we're going.
I knew I had a premonition that like this wasn't the thing I was going to sell them.
Yeah.
But I brought friends over to watch Into the Woods, like the whole thing of
Yes,
Into the Woods.
yes.
Like people left.
Yeah.
The recording of Bernadette.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
Yeah, and I was like, if the thing that is like making my heart soar more than anything, like that's making me think in a different way than I ever had, isn't being understood. Like this is just what I have to like.
That just speaks to you sort of having a more advanced taste.
Brain.
Wait, what did you sing that night at the Duplex that you came in with Larry Owens? He sang Sunday in the Park, and then you sang.
I think I might have sang Ladies Who Lunch.
Great. Oh, you did.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
I remember you belting Rise. Yeah. Amazing.
Yes, I do too.
Oh my God, that was a wonderful moment. And that was the first time we met in person.
I think so, because we had been internet friends. I
Yes.
don't even think we were internet friends.
I
That
don't
was
think
the
we had
first
met.
night.
Yeah.
I thought you like weren't like wanted me gone.
No.
What are you talking about?
Me? Kind of.
Oh my God. We're all giving off
can
the
I
wrong
tell you something?
vibes.
That was always a weird negotiating thing for me because I was the first lady of the duplex at that time.
Oh.
Because Henry was my betrothed.
Yeah.
And so
was very hard
people
for
coming
you.
in, you were like a little like
not even people coming in. I was always just kind of like negotiating like the.
You wanted to make sure everyone was having fun.
I wanted to make sure
yeah,
everyone was
no,
having
that is
fun.
actually now that you think
Right.
about, that's what I sensed. It was like you
Yeah.
were half there, half there.
Uh-huh.
Like
I
you were,
felt like I was hosting.
yeah, exactly.
And honestly,
I would love to sing again. Some I
We
don't
gotta
get.
go.
It's like one part of me that like I have completely lost, and I miss singing.
We gotta.
can I tell you something? Oh, I hate that that's the impression I gave off because it's not the first time I've
No,
been told that.
don't worry.
But like, my manager Kara told me that the first time she met me, she still thought I was being CUNTY to her, and I was like,
Oh.
I hope I don't like give off this. And
Her words. Her words.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's just like I don't. I hope that's not the impression I give off.
Well,
I love
maybe
everyone.
like maybe there was like a few months where you were doing that, and like now you're over it.
You
Now
were
I'm
in
over
a
it. And
terrible place.
I was in a terrible place.
Yeah. And don't the fact that you were struggling mean that you do that to him?
Don't you feel that?
Don't you like feel that though?
Don't you feel that I'm always
You feel this
hosting?
way?
That's a great answer, Sondheim. Okay,
Yeah.
best show for you.
Yeah. What do you love?
I mean, the first one that
Can I play that game too?
Yes,
yeah.
please.
I mean, like
We're all gonna
Sunday
play.
was so huge for me.
Sunday is a big deal.
But then Company was also really huge for me.
Yeah.
Those I would say those are my two, and I
Great.
have very soft spot for.
We're
Into
gonna
the
see
Woods as well.
Company,
We're
too.
seeing Company
Oh, great.
in London.
In London.
Oh yes. Oh, wait, Jeffrey
Yeah.
was telling us you guys are all going to the UK for
Yes.
Christmas. Oh,
Yeah.
that
It's gonna be
sounds
fun.
so
Oh wait,
nice.
yes, he did tell us that sounds really.
That sounds
Yeah.
diff-
Yeah.
Wait,
that's
can
really
everyone
exhausting.
say their sometimes?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, mine is basic. I think it's like a masterpiece. Mine is Sweeney.
great.
I mean, I just think talk about specific
Yeah.
and blowing it out and just genius
God.
music. The performances. I love that you can still argue about character motivations. I love the way that it can be interpreted so many different
And
ways. I just
Yeah.
Watching that
the
Sweeney
comedy of it.
as an
Right.
adult, I'm like, that is Sondheim is such the artist you look up to because you knew where he was in his life every show.
Yeah.
And it's like you watch
Yeah.
Sweeney and you're like, oh, like he really had a darkness about what life was. Like
Right,
that
right.
show is so about how humanity is bad.
is
and so like I've been in
inherently
those places
awful.
and like to make pieces of art like reflecting everything you feel in a certain time period.
Yeah.
And it's like Company is all about being single. Merrily's all about dreams. Like,
Oh my
like you
God.
see like at what he was feeling at every stage.
And it's Shakespearean, I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, the characters are, and I just, at any time there's a performance of it, I always seek it out,
Yeah.
whether on any level, because I'm just like, I just love this.
The
and
music,
some of the
yeah.
music is
So good.
truly beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, yeah,
startling, and I love that it's scary.
It is
Yeah.
scary.
It is
Yeah.
very scary. I mean, the music is shocking.
And it's
still,
gross.
It's
I-
gross.
gross, it's
Everyone's
disgusting.
gross in a
Yeah.
good way.
Everyone's filthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
even-
everyone's like a beggar. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
The movie bothered me so much, but even the movie, I'm like, I'll still watch it because it's Sweeney, and I still think there's good things about
They
it.
lost.
I couldn't
we just,
feel it.
Oh, they
Yeah, and
lost the fun.
Oh,
they lost
yeah.
the fun.
I mean,
And
absolutely.
it
because
wasn't shot for a musical either. It
Yeah.
would just be
It
like
was-
things
Right.
It
camera.
was a total missed opportunity.
But it's still like you love the world,
But
so you
there's-
like want to be in it no matter what.
There's
kind of a
things about it
feeling.
I love. I like. I think that Helena Bonham Carter shouldn't have been cast in the part, but there's elements of her performance I like. I like her take
Yeah, I
on her
understand.
being like really racked about the things she's doing. I love that how obviously in love with him she was. Sometimes the way Angela Lansbury plays it, it's like so wacky that
Yeah.
I miss her motivations, and I know
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of like I think
That's the
the
fun.
Don't you feel
Yeah.
like she was like like instead of singing to like you, she was singing to like the back of her head.
Yes.
Like she was like trying to
Who
sing,
Helena
like,
Bonham Carter?
she was
Yeah. Don't you feel like you?
I mean, you couldn't understand the words, which is
I
rule
know.
number one.
Yeah.
Of Sondheim.
Sondheim is like
Yeah.
at least fucking bite the
Yeah.
consonants.
And if you
bitch.
can't understand the words in a Sondheim thing,
You're
then,
done.
Yeah, you're.
then it's just
Then what are
fucking
words?
nuts.
Why are you-
Yeah.
yeah.
Then what
Why
are
are you
words?
spending
but
so much money?
every
on this?
song is just there's a whole world in every song. And I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
Don't you
piece.
feel like with Helena Bonham Carter, you're always like, she's like your friend that's like up there at the talent show, and you're like, please win, like you are, like please,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope
yeah.
everyone else sees
We
it.
know this is in
like I
you.
know, and then
Like-
like they kind of miss the mark, and you're like, fuck, but I do know her, and like, I'm like
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? The thing about her is just like do something different. I mean,
Yeah.
I think her best performance
Or-
is Bellatrix Lestrange.
it is. That's her freest
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's camp.
It's
That's
not even do
It's
something
true.
different. It's like do what you do well as
as
you
well
can
as
do
you
it.
can.
Without-
I agree
Yeah,
with you. I
yeah.
rescind what I said. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Well, Ocean's 8 like exposed like her what's like crazy about her as an actor. It was just
Is-
like it was like she had 19 reactions to one sentence, and they would keep all of them in.
Yeah, oh, I
and you're
love
like,
that.
oh my god, cut away from her. No,
Yeah.
no, cut away from
Oh
her.
my
She's
God,
going
you're
crazy.
right.
She was like, no, she was just giving you options to
I
cut
know,
her out.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you
yeah.
kept all of them.
Are you crazy?
She can do not batty. She can do grounded. Like Big Fish was her just be
Yeah.
I
like,
love Big Fish.
Normal.
Me too.
I like Big
I love
Fish.
the
It's
ending
so
of Big
good.
Fish.
Oh my god!
I should hope everyone
Wait, what
comes.
happens at the end?
Everyone comes to
everyone
the
comes
lake.
back.
Yeah.
That
It's
I
beautiful.
recently said on this pod that
It makes me
that,
cry.
that makes me cry every
Every
time.
time. I used to watch it if I needed to cry, and then I
That's
watched
exactly
it too many
what I
times.
said. Yes. Still to
Wow.
this day.
Okay, Charles, on.
Charles,
Yeah.
you go.
Well, I still haven't seen Company, and I still haven't seen Assassins, but
Assassins is great.
and there's probably something else I still haven't seen. But I would say, I mean,
Merrily.
because like I knew Into the Woods really well before we started dating. And then Jordan, we went to go see a few more Sondheim things, and I would say it's between Merrily and Sunday in the Park with George.
Great.
Like I can't
Yeah.
like Merrily. I was like we saw in
Weeping,
L.A. It was
yeah.
a pretty good production
Yeah.
overall, and
Except
I was like
for
sobbing.
oh my god,
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady.
It was next level.
resented every moment of doing that
Pilled
show.
out. I think
Forgot lines.
No, I think he was on pills. Like
Yeah.
I really think he's like
my
gone.
God.
Wait,
I
Wayne
think
Brady
he's
was
gone.
Bobby?
No, in Merrily.
Charlie.
Oh,
He was
Meryl.
Charlie.
Oh, sorry. I was like, wait. Wayne
But like he has that
Brady
so
is-
long, mutter, yes, Jerome, mutter, like that whole like Franklin
He
Chevrolet.
botched
Like,
it?
Yeah.
he literally
Which is,
was
like, an
forgetting
amazing-
lyrics,
It's
like,
such a gift to have
that
to be
role.
given that
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I don't know. I just love the like all this stuff about success and like the
Yeah.
sadness of like
Uh-huh.
friendships, partying, and like
It's
I
so
don't know. I
good.
feel like I've felt that now, and like just like harnessing that energy of like hope. Like, aren't you so nostalgic for being so young and hopeful?
I know. Our
And, like,
time is
when
like
I
so
first
sad.
moved
No,
to- I know.
so genius that the most positive song is the saddest
last
song.
Yeah.
And when you first moved to New York and you were like looking up at the like you saw the light on the buildings and you were just like fuck my future, and like it was
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
powerful.
yes.
And now I'm like I'm late.
Yeah, I know.
It's,
Yeah,
like, it's like
yeah.
nothing.
Oh my God.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm so hungry. That's
Yeah.
all. That's my thoughts now.
Yeah, I know. And then you walk around for 30 minutes because you can't decide what to eat.
Yeah, I know.
I
And that's
literally
the
had
day.
that happen this morning.
Yeah.
Oh my
Kanye.
God, I'm just sad about our time.
I
being-
know.
I know.
It-
Or what's the other one?
It's hard time breathing.
I mean the song where they're all like putting on the play together.
Oh, opening doors.
Opening
Yes,
doors.
yes,
That's
yes,
so
yes.
like
That's sad,
that's so
too.
riveting.
Was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the show in Lady Bird too? Was that?
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
opening
Yeah.
doors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very funny.
Which, yeah.
Yeah,
It's such a happiness march.
Yeah.
A
great.
blind march.
Yes. I would. Yeah, this is boring, but I feel like Sunday too. Or Into the Woods was the first
Yeah.
thing I saw. Just like the
the Woods is
taping.
Into the
Genius.
Woods
It's
is
genius.
like such a
Perfect.
masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece.
It's
Because
truly-
it
Yeah.
says everything about every
About
aspect
everything.
of
Of life.
existence.
Yes.
It's
Of life,
every
yeah.
single
Yeah.
thing in life.
Yeah.
And
I
the-
thought that movie was a lot closer.
I actually didn't
It
mind the
wasn't
movie.
bad. It
There's a
wasn't
few things that
terrible.
I was like, I don't want to see
Yeah.
James Corden in my life ever.
sure.
And
Yeah.
like
Emily-
Emily Blunt was fine, but like
I just thought
I
it
loved
like
her.
it
she was good. I just
it
really
looked
like
too
Joanna.
real and too fake at the same time.
I get that. Like,
Sure.
like
The
was a
look of
set.
it was
Yeah.
not-
all
for me.
musicals do now. They're all CGI.
Well, I have a theory about why musical movies don't work now. Is
Go.
because like for a musical to work, it has to look fake enough that you could suspend your disbelief that people are singing.
Yes.
And like when they look real, you're like, wait, my brain doesn't understand. Like it just seems
That's
so
why it
fake.
worked in old Hollywood
Yes,
back in the
that's
day.
why like old
Yeah.
movie musicals work.
Yeah.
And like new ones
But
just
it's the
don't.
same like problem as like Jurassic World or any of these movies. Where it's
Yeah.
like I can't tell what CGI. Like I just
Uh-huh,
stop because
Yeah.
my eyes hurt.
That
like,
Yeah,
I
new
don't know
Jungle
what's real.
Book, I'm like, this
No.
is like,
No.
I'm not impressed. Like after 2 minutes, I'm not impressed,
Yeah.
and it looks wrong.
They're gonna fuck up Wicked, aren't they?
They're gonna fuck up Lion King for sure.
I
I
mean,
feel like
I
Wicked
think-
is like if it gets fucked up, it's kind of fun to fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I don't know. To me, I don't need it to be the best, but I know other people have that. Like I
Yeah.
grew up
and
with it
you
feeling.
know Ariana is doing it.
You think?
She's gonna be.
To
As
play what?
Elphaba?
She's gonna be Alphaba.
She could be Glinda.
She would be a better Glinda.
She'd be
I
a
think.
better Glinda.
Yeah.
I
She
think she
can't
doesn't
do
have
Alphaba.
any of the
She can't- I
comic
don't think she can do
personality.
Alphaba.
No,
Right.
because no, you do not have to be an actress to play Alphaba. You have
Yeah.
to be
Oh
an
my
actress to
God.
play Glinda.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
right,
you
right,
have to be
right.
funny.
That's
You have to
true.
be
That's true.
genuinely
have
funny.
to
Sorry, I'm
have.
so in my head about this.
Who's
Let's
gonna
go.
play Glinda?
I don't.
Joel said this actress Dove Cameron.
Oh,
Who's
who was in
very good.
Who was in Hairspray live?
Yes, she played
she
Amber
played-
Von Tussle, and that was a very
I remember
weird.
liking her.
She was
Yeah,
great.
but
Yeah.
like enough.
Right.
Did we like her enough?
I know.
I mean, I wanted. This is annoying, but I wanted Anne Hathaway and Kristen Bell, but now they're too old.
Right.
Are
I
they?
mean,
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can't
they
play
are.
like college students, like
No.
Ed Shiz. Yeah,
Right.
I don't. Yeah, I don't want to see Kristen Bell do that. I don't think. She's right for it, but I don't think. I know every choice.
Yeah.
I could probably do every choice that she would make.
Wow.
But you're right. But
See,
Jordan
but-
Firstman
well,
could
I
make
don't
every
agree.
choice that
I think
Kristen
I
Bell.
think she'd
She'd
give it like a
surprise you?
dark, bitchy energy that I think
Uh-huh.
that I
Yeah, I
see
think
in
she'd
the
be
good
fun.
place. I see
I
in the
think-
good place, which I didn't see from her before.
Can
Yeah.
Margot Robbie sing? She'd be good.
It would be so
I would-
weird.
I
She's
would
too like raw.
guarantee
rough.
she cannot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I like her.
She's too much of like
Me
a
too.
real
Yeah.
a real person.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
I don't really know her besides I, Tanya, I guess. What's the
Wolf
thing
of
you
Wall
love her
Street
from?
is good. She's
Oh,
broad.
yeah,
she's
right,
broad
right.
and campy in the Wolf of
Yeah,
Wall Street.
she's really fun.
Do you know who
Yeah.
would be a fucking amazing Glinda?
Who?
Is Vanessa Bayer.
Yeah, it would be
Oh,
great. It should be
whoa.
somebody like
Whoa.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
Like it would be so genuinely funny.
I cannot imagine
Oh my
her like
God.
belting.
And like
it's so funny too.
But like Glinda has like a weird froggy voice as like she's a
Sure.
soprano.
it
but, like,
needs to be
her-
people like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know, especially like young people I don't know.
But how
like
funny
just
would
hearing
her-
like
So
Nikki
funny.
Cameron or whatever, I'm like, oh, she sucks. Like just because I don't like any young person I don't know, I'm like, oh, they're a shoe store. I don't.
There's
like
a
it.
shoe
Like,
store. Dove Cameron's Instagram is insane.
Dove Cameron.
I just remember
It's-
one time, like Jennifer Hudson, who I follow on Instagram, posted Dove Cameron singing, and you just hear in the background Jennifer Hudson go, "Sing, Dove!"
She just looks. She's one of those people who like she's the female Zac Efron, where she's so good at this thing,
Uh-huh.
and then like she puts on like gender drag, like aggressive
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
drag to be like I'm a woman or I'm a masked dude.
Yeah.
It's like oh
Wait,
no,
this
no,
is
no, no.
Dove Cameron.
Dove Cameron. Whereas Zac Efron is like
Yeah,
Oh,
and she's
oh,
like
he's in drag.
core,
He's
hyper,
doing
he's a
drag.
masked
hyper
drag.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Okay, is it time?
It's time.
Okay, we're gonna do it. I don't think so, and I don't think
Wait,
so, honey.
so sorry. Did we have to come with stuff for the podcast?
No. Wait, what do you mean?
Do you
Like-
not
Like,
have
did we
anything?
have our own?
Like we don't really have.
I
you do?
I thought I had one, and then I found out that John Early's been doing like a whole set about it for like years.
Well, why don't
Wait.
you just go off the cuff?
Go off the.
That's-
we
we
do
go
off the cuff all the
we
time.
do off the cuff all
Yeah.
the time. Like the one I'm gonna do tonight is like not
Okay.
prepared.
Yeah.
Okay,
So then,
okay.
so then we're gonna go first.
Yeah.
And then you guys go.
Yeah,
I think.
but it's not like you don't have a trouble situation.
No.
No.
Okay. So we
Uh-huh.
should have something. Okay.
Yeah.
yes,
Gotcha.
yes. Okay,
is there anything in this bag?
A muffin.
Okay.
My
I don't think
phone's
so.
on
Any
the-
muffins?
Muffins.
Hello, there's a lot to say.
Yeah, they're literally.
They
That's
make you
true.
fat.
They're mostly dry.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
100%.
there's a good part, and it's the top, and the rest of it is a fucking nightmare.
You have something?
I have something.
Great. This is Matt Rogers' I Don't Think So, Honey's time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Barbecue. Like barbecue food. I don't think so,
What?
honey, because you're fucking sticky. You really you
no.
fill me up immediately. I don't think so, honey, or a sweetie or a sweetheart. Food that the second I've taken 2 bites of you, I'm full because I like to enjoy everything.
Yeah.
I don't think so, honey. Barbecue. Whenever you are in front of me, I eat the mac and cheese and the mashed first, bitch.
Wow.
I go to you last. I don't think so, honey. Barbecue. There's a lot other foods I'd rather eat. Here are some Japanese food. Here's another one. Fast
30
food, bitch.
seconds.
Honestly, any sort of fast food I would rather ingest than you barbecue, bitch. I don't think so, honey. Also, every single barbecue restaurant, there's a long ass line because a lot of these other
Oh,
motherfuckers
wow.
like barbecue, and that's good for those honeys. But for me,
15
honey,
seconds.
I don't think so, honey. I'd rather go to, let's list, a Southern restaurant, which is
Oh.
often no, never mind. That's oftentimes barbecue. I went to
5
Justin
seconds.
Timberlake's restaurant
Oh.
in New York, and it was trash. It was not good. And don't go there. It's a barbecue joint, and I don't think so, honey.
That's one minute. That
was great.
That was great. I
I
agree.
gotta tell you-
the feeling full thing. You're right. Like 3 bites
Immediately.
You really, with barbecue food,
Yeah.
with ribs, with like any barbecue anything, you start eating it, and you're like,
It weighs you
I think
down.
it's something about the like hearty smell of it or something.
Mm.
But you're always, and you get tricked by barbecue
Okay.
because you think you want to eat it because barbecue sauce is good aroma, and then you're
Yes.
hungry, and then you sit there and you're like, oh wow, I'm so full. And also,
Yeah.
like ordinarily, you'll have like a beer with barbecue, and then you're filled with that.
What else?
Right.
Chips are pretty good. The barbecue chips, I think.
You think that's the same thing?
Yeah.
No,
Well-
I don't think. I think it's an exception. To be honest.
And I want to say something. I am all about barbecues.
The event.
The event.
Yes.
Oh
Honey.
yeah, they bring people together.
They bring
do,
people. They
they
bring
do.
so many people together.
it's the actual cuisine.
It's the cuisine
I've never had it.
of barbecue.
I don't know.
Never.
He's never.
I've never had a burger.
You've never
I've
done
had
so
a
many
barbecue.
things.
Wow.
Are you vegan?
What else haven't I
He's
done?
pescatarian.
I'm
You
a
never watch
pesca.
television?
That's
I never watch
gorgeous.
TV.
You're a Miss Pesca.
Do you ever watch TV and eat barbecue at the same time?
No, honey, because I'm famously very much a Charles Rogers. I don't watch television, and clearly I'm on the record. I don't think so, honey. Barbecue.
Wow.
Wow.
We're family.
we
Imagine we found out we were related.
We probably are. Matt and
I
Charles
can see
Rogers.
it. And Bowen and I are related.
And then Jordan and I are
Jordan
related.
Yang.
Yeah.
First meet,
That's
first
why,
date.
like,
Bowen
when
and
he was
Jordan
15,
Yang.
he's like, "Why am I not in New York at Welcome
That's
Week?
right.
I should be
This makes
there."
sense. I think
No,
we
100%.
leave it with different.
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
came in
Oh
like
my
this.
God. No,
they're
and we
not.
leave.
We're gonna
obviously
Totally.
live like that.
You
yeah.
guys aren't dating?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No. That was a missive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just felt
I
I
learned.
needed to say it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. thank
And
you.
now it's Bowen Yang's time.
great.
Have I
What?
done this before?
Tell me what it is.
No, when I
If you have done it before, I will stop
stop
you.
me. Great.
This is Bowen Yang's I Don't Think So, Honey, and his time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Me not getting a fucking I voted sticker in my absentee ballot.
done this.
I've done this. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked
Stop the
it, though.
clock.
Oh my
Stop
God.
the clock.
How many times have you
Shit.
voted this week?
This week,
You
once.
did this.
I got 2 ballots in the mail. It's that is a trap for fraud.
Yeah.
For them to
Yeah.
invalidate my
Yeah.
ballots. Okay,
By the
great.
way, that has to stay in.
that'll stay in. That's fine. That's
yeah.
fine. Okay, I've got something.
And this is Bowen Yang's second attempt at this. I don't think so, honey. Time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Saks Fifth Avenue, bitch. These Gucci shoes that I just bought as my present to myself for my birthday were too expensive, but I made an exception. But honey, it just opened up my eyes to this whole new world and thinking, shouldn't everyone be afforded the privilege of wearing a deconstructed Kenzo sweater? I mean, God, I mean, like who? These are bullshit markers of status that I think should just be completely democratized. And for the price point to be so egregiously high is truly a travesty. You know what? I think
30 seconds.
Saks is the next to fall with the Lord and Taylors of the world. I think I will mourn the day that Saks leaves all of our lives, but. I mean, where else am I? Whatever. What I'm trying to say is these shoes that I bought were too expensive, and I also do want to just tell everyone that I bought
15
myself
seconds.
Gucci shoes for my birthday, and you know what? Like that's like me just like becoming more self-actualized as a person as I move into my 30s.
5 seconds.
And I hope everyone knows that I have it figured out.
And that's 1 minute.
Yeah.
You know, Bowen Yang, she do love to spend $1 or $2 on the clothing items.
I love
I think it's
clothes.
Clothes are
important. It's important to
constantly
if
be
it makes
changing.
you feel fabulous.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and like that's I'm capping it at that.
No,
for
I think
myself.
I think like I buy thousands of articles of clothing for cheap, and like I think it is nice to buy like fewer things but expensive.
one
Yeah.
nice thing.
I have discovered this too. I feel better about the quality of the stuff I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay $50 for one good
Yeah.
shirt than $22 on 2
I'm on
mediocre
such a good
shirts.
vintage kick though. Like I found my places in LA, and I'm like I can't stop.
That's okay, but sometimes
That's
vintage
good.
is also
Yeah.
like
Quality.
I feel like if you don't keep buying clothes, it's like you can't like grow. Your personality isn't
Wow.
growing. You're not like changing.
That's huge.
absolutely.
And that's why America's falling.
It's a clothes thing.
It's a close thing. All right, let's go in the same order we asked culture
Yeah,
questions.
yeah,
So we'll do
yeah.
Charles first.
Charles is
Oh my
first.
God. Okay, this is impromptu.
And this is Charles Rogers' I don't think so, honey. And this time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Eye contact.
Oh!
It is psychotic. It is a rule by God. It doesn't make sense. It puts you in your head. It's the most natural and most easy thing that you're ever supposed to do, and somehow it has started wars. It is. It's true. What I fucking really hate is during a comedy and somebody like there's like on screen something's funny happening, the whole audience laughs, and then somebody turns to you and tries to share a laugh eye to eye. Evil, psychotic behavior. I'm not going to enter your soul. And the second you say eye contact, all bets are off. Nobody can look each other in the eyes. It starts normal eye contact. We can't even relate. It's crazy.
I can't stop now.
We should gouge our eyes out. We should replace them. I don't know, honey. I hate eye contact. Let's see, what else do I hate about eye contact? I hate that when I can see how people think of me when they look at me, and I said the microaggressions. Even looking at you right now, I can see.
I love you.
I see a guardedness. I see a judgment.
That's 1 minute. Okay, wait. I do the thing where when I am laughing at something in a large movie theater, I will turn and I will look to someone. I do it all the time.
Scary to me to receive that.
Usually that means you're my favorite person there.
That's so sweet.
That's
so
nice.
sweet.
He didn't do that to you, though.
I wrote in my best friend.
Thank you so much.
My best friend Allison. I wrote in her yearbook. I know we don't say cute things like this, but I just want to tell you that whenever we're watching something and I think something's funny, I always look at you first to see if you think it's funny too.
That's really sweet.
That's very nice.
So it's like a dependency. It's like a dependence.
No, it's let's enjoy it together. I love you.
Yeah. I feel that.
That's sweet.
I always grab you and look at you.
Yeah, I've never had a laugh to myself when we see something together.
You guys laugh together. That's nice.
We always laugh together.
I'm thinking more like like people you don't know well.
strangers.
It's more like not deep friends.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that happens, and it's wild.
There was somebody I went to NYU with who was like that, who was like, and it was like,
honestly, sometimes I use eye contact like at bars and stuff. Like I use eye contact as like a thing of like, just so you know, I do want to fuck you.
Yeah,
and one time,
for sure.
It really almost not. It works a lot, but one time it worked with this guy I really liked, where I was like, I grilled him eye contact, and he was like, "We should hang out," and I'm like, "Yeah, we should."
Worked.
Immediately worked.
Well,
But then we
because
didn't end up
sometimes
hooking up.
it's a trap. Like when both people just can't stop looking at each other's eyes, and it's like I don't know how to even speak a word.
It's what you're supposed to do.
But you use eye contact for evil and not good. Like
we said we weren't gonna fight.
Oh my god! But he'll like the way he likes to use eye contact is like, remember when you were on the subway, you had this thing you were doing a lot where he would just pick someone to stare at across the tracks.
That's me.
Just
and
to
just
see.
like stare,
Just to see.
And not break eye contact. To see what happened.
Mike, the caricature of me is evil, though. You should say that.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I'm on too many podcasts where we're like, I'm a sociopath. Like it's getting like it's not good for my brain.
Bragging about how many podcasts he's
Oh my god, this
He's,
is
I'm
So
making
you're
the
both
rounds.
on.
All right.
Okay, I don't know if I have a minute of material for this.
It
but-
doesn't
Yes, you
matter.
do.
You,
Yes,
you
you
do.
do.
You don't realize. And Jordan Firstman's. I don't think so, honey. Time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Portrait mode. It looks so fucking shitty. It looks like someone used a fucking eraser and then erased everything outside of you and erased the trees. There's no depth of field. It is a trick. It is, and even on the new iPhones where there are 2 cameras. Sorry, you have it. But I'm sorry, it looks fucking cheap. And if you use portrait mode, like you are showing the world that you're old, and you think you're like, oh, blurry background. That's what young people do. I have to do
seconds.
that too. Oh my god, 30 seconds.
know.
And you know what? You know what? On top of that, I'm fucking tired of depth of field in general.
Whoa!
I want a clean, sharp image.
Flat.
I want flat. I want everything in sight to be seen. It's like we've done that. We saw the
15
the
seconds.
birth of DSLRs, and they have died. We don't need them anymore. We don't need you to adjust your focus. I want a flat image. I want to see the trees in the background, and I want to see your
5
shirt
seconds.
and your outfit in the foreground, and that's what young people should be doing.
That's what it. We had it.
You kidding me?
That was good.
Wow.
Believe in yourselves.
I think you
That
know
was.
what.
I mean, that was salient.
I have to agree. I'm also I've taken a couple portrait modes where trees are the trap.
Yeah.
But if it's against like a wall or
Yeah.
a brick wall or something,
Right.
then
Because
it
the
might,
branches like sometimes dissolve and then they come back and turn into branches and then they dissolve again.
Yes.
And it's like, oh.
and then when they meet like the outline of your face, it's just like
There's a halo
there's
of
a
clarity
halo
sometimes.
and
I'm sorry, but front-facing portrait mode.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, insane.
No.
That is crazy.
seek treatment. Seek treatment. You
See
should-
treatment.
you
Or
be
should we say, I don't
institutionalized.
think so, honey.
Oh my god.
Oh, big war.
Big
Podcast war.
Podcast
War.
war that Joel Kim Booster started.
Yeah, it's like you, WTF, Seeing straight men.
Yeah,
Throwing
Terry
shade.
Gross.
Fresh air.
Yes.
What's the tea?
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin. It's really an all out war.
Before we wrap this up, I said I was going to do something, and I can't leave without doing it, which is I have to out Charles as being a listener of Podcast The Ride, and he's also a theme.
Oh my God.
He's also a theme park gay.
I am. But I could never compete on the level that you can compete on.
But you don't know that
Because I have shame. I have a lot. You don't have shame, which is good.
and that's homophobia. That's homophobia.
It is. It's totally internalized
Everyone
homophobia.
is homophobic.
You know, theme parks are inherently the gayest.
They are the gayest.
Absolutely.
There's that saying that like Disneyland is more real than
I
like
don't
Vegas
feel like
or whatever.
that.
Because
Yes.
Disneyland tells you it's fake,
Yes.
but Vegas doesn't.
Right,
Doesn't.
exactly.
Disneyland's the only
And
real
that's what
place.
makes it an
Parks are
adult theme
straight,
park.
guys. I have to disagree. Theme parks are so straight.
I think
No,
you're
they're
wrong.
just
they're
straight people ruin it.
Back
No,
it up.
straight
True.
people wanted little children and girls especially to stay young forever and then fuck them, and so they created this world where they can fuck little kids.
No. Gay
That-
people have Arrested Development.
I'm
It's the same
speechless.
as musical theater. They have Arrested Development. They stay in a candy land, and then other people are like, it's not so bad there.
I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I feel that roller coaster parks are for the straights.
I hate
Six
Yes,
Flags.
I
are
agree.
straight.
yes,
That's
but
true.
no, but I
Six
feel
Flags
like
is for the
there's
straights.
nothing more disgusting than be like, let just kids be kids.
Well,
You know what I mean?
But
I want to
what-
see.
that's why I say no kids in the Magic Kingdom. It should be for me.
that's true. It should be gays only, adult gays
It
only.
should be. It should be
Adult
out on the
gays
mountain
only.
every day
It
at
should be
Six
a
Flags
circuit
Magic
party.
Mountain. It should be fucking.
Yeah.
And I heard that like literally, my friends that have been to the gay days at Disney World say that there's like, come on the goddamn haunted mansion.
like
If
people
you-
are hooking up there.
That's what I hear.
If you
Wow.
just think about
I
this.
believe that.
If they opened up a theme park in Palm Springs,
Oh my god.
like the people would fucking go crazy, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
so there
God.
you go.
It's
That's true.
truly. I have no ill will. I just don't. I don't.
so
enjoy
you
myself.
would never
Fine,
go
fine,
with
fine.
Charles.
I have, and like
It's the same part of you that's like, America's stupid, Europe is good. You know what I mean? Like
Wow.
that's the same part of
That's
you.
me. When we go together, that's me. I am very much like
No,
this is
you buy
so
into
great.
it.
But then
You
I
don't
buy.
do
I
that
feel
to
like you
me.
love it.
I do, but then
He
I do
does.
come around to it.
Right,
very-
right,
come
right.
around
Wait,
to
what?
it.
So
how,
hard to
no,
not-
because my
Yes.
theory can't be proven because
What?
you're pretty middle class, right? Grew up middle class.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like growing up middle class, like anything that is like a little bit gross, you're like, I'm civilized, I'm
Yes,
sophisticated.
yes,
That's
yes.
below me.
Right.
Whereas like you grew up thinking you were rich, so you can do poor people things.
Right. I grew up
and
I grew up
I-
Well,
just so you know,
Bowen was upper middle class.
Right.
You're upper middle.
Yeah.
I grew up in the
guess.
poorest part of
You are.
America. So
Okay.
like
so
we thought we were
my
rich.
theory doesn't
Wow,
hold. My
wow,
theory
wow.
doesn't hold.
But
Well,
it's interesting.
but I think theme parks are gay. Like Disneyland is very gay.
They
It's all
are,
about
yes.
escapism.
And
Escapism
everyone
is
that
gay.
works there is gay.
Yeah. And they have a lot of gay
Escapism is gay.
benefits.
Yeah.
There's
I
no
just
reason
hate
to
kid- I
escape.
hate
Everyone
kid
gets
stuff.
free prep at Disneyland.
Shut up.
That's cute.
Oh my god, can you even? I really bought it. I bought
It feels
Yeah.
possible.
I bought
We've
it.
been very gullible all up.
I've been very gullible.
We've both been like
Oh.
the whole LinkedIn thing. I was like, really?
These boys.
This is what I mean.
We
With, like,
make
I have,
you.
We're
I have
falling
a
for them.
deadness that people think could be real.
Oh, everyone's like, oh,
Yeah.
Charles.
Meanwhile,
This is-
I would have said that joke like, yeah, they get free prep.
Fraud! Wait, can I
Hmm.
on the way here, I also like coming into this energy. We were both so tired,
We're
so
so
dead.
Oh my
and,
God.
like, and like you guys really did lift
It's
our
true.
spirit.
Welcome back to
wow.
life.
But coming here, Charles was like, I like just don't know if I'm like gay enough. Like if I don't
know.
You're like,
Sudie
I
said
don't
this
know.
about us.
I can't talk fast enough.
You guys are gay enough.
You guys
Yeah,
are
we're gay
definitely
enough.
gay.
We're
enough.
definitely gay.
Sudie
Fair.
recently said someone was asking Sudie. I think we were upstate, and
were
like
upstate.
maybe she was talking to Mo or Dave or something, and she was talking about a gay person, and the question of how gay they were
Came
like
up.
arrived,
Yeah.
and she goes, "I mean, they're not gay like guru, which is like what we do,
Which is what-
but
which
they're
is-
gay."
but
But
they're
she
gay.
literally used the barometer for gay
Yeah.
as
So
us.
we're upper bound gay.
That's
Niche.
good.
Yeah.
I like
Title
the
that
one.
niche.
What's the one? Oh, fuck. What's one of your catchphrases that I like so much?
I don't like my
I don't
word-
know
I
my words, but I do know my heart.
no, it's like
Yikes of course?
Yikes
Yikes
of
of
course.
course.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
like
like
yikes
that
of
one,
course.
too.
Thank you.
And there's
Yeah.
a new one. You feel this way?
You feel this way?
You feel this way?
When someone says
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like
Yeah.
titillating,
It's like, are you serious?
yeah,
Yeah,
ex-
you feel this way?
perfect.
You
Yeah.
fucking got that.
Stylized
Yeah.
as
You feel this
capital
way?
U, the letter U,
Yeah.
capital FEEL, capital THIS, capital WAY.
Oh, so it's all caps.
It's all caps.
So you have
You
to
feel
you have
this
to
way?
actually say that when you do it.
It's
You
mixed,
feel this
it's
way?
mixed
I
case.
feel this way.
You feel this
There
I
way.
think
we
you have to
go.
confirm it.
Yeah.
Wait,
I feel this
you
way.
feel this way?
Charles, no.
You made it
Too
straight.
This was a fantastic episode.
I loved it. Covered the whole
fun.
spectrum.
Yes,
Love
we
it,
did.
love it.
This
These-
episode
We're
was
like
on
into the
spectrum.
woods.
We're like
Oh my God.
All
All
things you
aspects
talk
of
about in the
life.
pod.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wait, what were you going to say?
Listeners
Yeah,
will
I think the same
listen.
thing you were.
These four-handers, baby.
Yeah.
Is that what we call
I
them?
love a four-hander. I
Keeps
love
it moving.
Well, I love anytime there's four gays in a room.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
a four-top.
Five.
Yay.
Hot producer
Hot
Emma.
producer Emma, our new permanent producer.
Our new
Wow.
permanent producer.
A permanent producer. That's the highest producer title.
we should definitely break to the listeners. HPJ is moving to LA,
Moving to LA.
and he won't be in the room for us to harass anymore. So
Yes.
now we have HPE, hot producer Emma.
who
Wow.
always has just very tasteful fashions.
Yeah.
Always
Oh,
always
you look
wears
great.
sharp, smart clothes.
Great shoes.
Very,
great
very
shoes.
Janixa, right?
Yeah.
Like her outfit is
Yeah.
Janixa Bravo.
I think that's
Oh.
true.
And queer, which is important to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Representation matters in producership.
In producership, absolutely. In permanent producership. Well,
They have a hard out like a half hour ago.
okay.
Okay.
Oh my
I
god.
gotta go.
Okay, we gotta go.
We gotta go. Listen.
Quick little ditty. What?
Careful the things you say. Ho,
Oh my God.
Forever. Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news by following us on Twitter and Instagram @ForeverDogTeam and liking our page on Facebook.